At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Good evening and welcome into this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of North Idaho Game Night presented by P1FCU. Tonight's game on IdahoSports.com is also brought to you in part by Project Filter, Your Health Idaho, Valleywide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. We are coming to you live from Sather Field tonight for the regular season finale here in the North Star League and what amounts to the de facto North Star League Championship. It's the Lakeside Knights at 6-1, taking on the Wallace Miners. They are 7-1. Hi, everybody inside the broadcast booth. Brandon Bainey alongside Stetson Spooner. If the name sounds familiar, it's, well, because he used to be the head football coach or co-coach at Mullen St. Regis, also former athletic director at Mullen as well, just down the road. He's in the private sector now, which means, hey, we get to use you on broadcast. Stetson, welcome in.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
We are so excited to have you on board tonight, and we figured we'd start you off nice and easy with two teams you know pretty well from your coaching days. These teams are both 4-1 in North Star League play in this double round-robin conference where you play everybody twice. Lakeside actually won the first matchup against Wallace in Worley, but then Lakeside stubbed their toe 2 weeks ago when in overtime lost to Coeur Christ 60-58. And so here we are. The winner of this will be the true outright North Star League champ.
That's very exciting for both teams. I know both teams well. I don't know both coaching staffs well, as Coach McGee is new. But the Wallace coaching staff, man, part of the great thing of coaching in this league for so long, for 13 years, some coaches change and some coaches don't, but it seems like everybody that takes a coaching job in this league becomes part of a almost like a colleague brotherhood outside of the actual season when you're not competing, and you get to establish really good friendships and understand people's tendencies well. And one thing I know about the Wallace coaching staff and their tendencies is their philosophies are solid and they stand for what's right and they coach really good football.
Yeah, so we've got basically three relative newcomers to the league. In fact, two first-year head coaches, Jerry Louie McGee for Lakeside and Kellen Clemens at Coeur Christ. And then you got Patrick Young at Clark Fork. He's in his second season. And then on the Wallace sideline, you got the old dog, Jared Young, in his 10th season patrolling that sidelines for the Miners.
Yeah, absolutely. Very fun for Jared. Happy that somebody else is the old guy now that I stepped away. I consider myself a spring chicken, but maybe not.
Yeah, it looks like Lakeside won the toss and will defer. And ready to kick off tonight for the Knights is Tyson Charlie. That's the name we're going to be calling a lot this evening. He is the Knights quarterback, also kicking this evening, and the focal point of the Lakeside offense. One lone return man back deep for the Miners. Here is the kick. It is a squibber to start, and Wallace falls on it right at the 50-yard line, and that's where the Miners will start 1st and 10. Here is the starting lineup tonight for the Wallace Miners offense. On the offensive line, The center, a good one. It's senior Garrett Clark. He's flanked by a pair of sophomore guards, Reese Williams and Rossi Korsick. The tight end is junior Gus Scott. 2 wide receivers, senior Julian Davis and sophomore Emmett Miles. The running back is senior Wyatt Ritchie, and it's freshman Cooper Miller at quarterback. 1st and 10 for the Miners.
Tyson in the slot.
And we'll get you the Lakeside defense here in just a moment. There's encroachment against the Knights, so it'll be 1st and 5 instead here. The Lakeside defense tonight up front on the defensive line. Julian Moffitt, the junior, Lane Morris, the senior, are the defensive ends. Big Dylan Brown is the senior nose tackle. 3 linebackers, all seniors, Jarius John Moffitt, Josiah Dole, and John Wilson. And in the secondary, junior Tyson Charlie and senior Preston Spotted Horse. And like you said, Tyson Charlie out there in the slot. I think he and Julian Davis are probably going to be mano-a-mano all night.
Yeah, I figured he's going to mirror Julian, and Julian happened to be in the slot there. That's a good plan. Great starting play for Wallace. Well executed. Good job using the field that's available.
Little screen pass is complete. That's Emmett Miles, the sophomore receiver, making the grab. And Miles has kind of been the deep guy this year. I mean, he's averaging like over 30 yards per reception.
Yeah, he's a talented young man. I've actually known him for a long time in his life. My wife and I are pretty close with his parents. Really good people that push him in the right way. And Emmett's, he responds well to that kind of support from his dad, Daniel, and his mom, Ashley. They're good folks.
Reception sets up a 1st and 10 for Wallace at the Lakeside 38-yard line. Screen pass complete this time to Julian Davis. He's the big 6'2" senior leader. He is brought down at the 30-yard line, finally forced out of bounds there by Josiah Dole. He's going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down marker.
Yeah, great play design. Good idea, too, a little quick pass game to get started rather than the normal inside run they may try to establish with Grubbs at running back, but not having him tonight. This is a kind of ingenious way to start. Just get the ball moving around the field outside of Cooper Miller's hands as quick as possible and make Lakeside kind of play all over the place.
Yeah, each team missing its starting running back tonight. Alex Grubbs for Wallace, Jamari Pione for Lakeside. I formation here. Miller under center this time on 2nd and 2. They give straight up the middle. The power back that time, Ashton Hulbert, the 5'10", 175-pound freshman. And he should have enough for the first down.
That's a good-sized kid.
And that's the thing with this Wallace program. It's a lot. You know, we talk about Cooper Miller obviously being a freshman, but there's a lot of guys that are freshmen and sophomores that are contributing.
And pretty good size. Pretty good size athletes. Pretty tenacious. I know Reese, number 32 at left guard there. He's a go-getter. He's all effort.
So 1st and 10 here for the Miners. Another screen pass. This is caught by Emmett Miles, but he's lassoed down in the backfield by Josiah Dole. That'll be a loss of about 3.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Naked screens are rough, unless those corners are playing way off. And sometimes in 8-man, in the man cover game, it's sometimes hard to get a big cushion. I liked what they did the first couple plays with the quick passes underneath, but all that's going to do is suck them up, and maybe they're trying to do that to take a shot in the future.
We're down to 9:40 to play, opening quarter, opening drive. I asked Wallace head coach Jared Young before the game the key to victory tonight. He said ball control. He said a good way to stop Lakeside is to make sure Tyson Charlie doesn't have the ball in his hands.
That would be a great place to start. That kid is an incredible athlete.
And
Good run here.
Yeah, Cooper Miller saying, I can run as well. Miller will take this all the way to the end zone. A 30-yard touchdown run for Cooper Miller. And Wallace strikes first.
Impressive young man. What I know about Cooper, if you throw freshmen and muscles and sheer athleticism out the window, is what kind of kid he is. He's a coach's dream, and my wife happens to work at Wallace High School and works in the front office, so she gets to know every teacher, coach, and kid, and she thinks the world of Cooper. He's a big leader off the field as well.
So a 30-yard touchdown run for Cooper Miller. And now Wallace going to line up here and go for 2 as well. High snap, Miller going to take it himself. Is going to reverse back the other direction. Did he get shoved in? No.
Close. Oh,
down at the 1.
Yeah, just short. Little breakdown, blocking on the right side there. Couldn't tell if Lakeside brought the house and put heat on or not, but sometimes that happens. Good effort by Coop getting right down there to about the 1-yard line.
So Wallace strikes first here. 6-0 the score with 9:21 to play. here in our opening quarter of action on a 30-yard touchdown run by Cooper Miller, the quarterback. When these two teams played, Stetson, earlier this year in Worley, I mean, what a shootout. The final score ended up being 70-48, Lakeside with the victory. It was a back-and-forth battle until about the fourth quarter. Just look at what the two quarterbacks did. Cooper Miller, the guy we just saw, 162 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 8 carries for 89 yards and a touchdown, so 5 touchdowns in total. And then Tyson Charlie, his counterpart, 339 yards and 5 touchdowns passing, 204 yards and 4 touchdowns rushing on just 7 carries.
Wow. that would be an exciting game to watch. Hopefully that's kind of the similar thing tonight. Defensive struggles are what coaches like. Defensive battles, that makes championship football. But for us, the fans and people watching, a whole bunch of points scored is a lot more fun.
So now ready to kick off here. Wallace, it's going to be a squibber onside, and again, Lakeside falls right on it. That's Halapion, who falls on it at the 49-yard line. And so Jamari Pion, starting running back for Lakeside, is out. His cousin Halapion expected to handle a lot of the duties this evening. And they are also related to Tyson Charlie. I think they're cousins with Tyson Charlie as well. It's a family affair at Lakeside.
Yeah, you'll find that with Lakeside. It's funny hearing the names here and coaching for 13 years. It's just a different set of great athletes that come try to kick your butt in the next generation of young talent. And the last names really match up, and there's no shortage of athleticism in Plummer Worley.
1st and 10 here for Lakeside. Ball right at the 50-yard line. Charlie out of the shotgun, gives inside. This is a big run off left tackle to the 30. He is going to take it the distance. A 50-yard touchdown run for Oliver Daniels, the senior.
Great play, little pre-snap motion and a counter coming back off of it. That's a great play called by Coach McGee and his staff, and great execution by the left side of the line there, staying true to the first thing to get the defense to bite to and keeping that hole honest on the backside. That was good stuff.
So Oliver Daniels, 1 carry, 50 yards, and the touchdown with 9:09 to play, first quarter of action. Already I saw a Wallace fan in front of me, Stetson, slam down his hat in frustration.
I understand. I'm a Bengals fan, so I totally get that.
And that was the problem for Wallace the first time these two played. Too many big plays.
Yeah, the open field tackling. Talking to Coach Young and Coach Miller and Coach Rasmussen on the Wallace staff, they're friends of mine. That's kind of exactly what they said. Keeping up with these athletes in space.
2-point try. It's going to be a halfback pass to the end zone. Broken up.
Nice.
So they tried Preston's spotted horse. They actually have converted that a couple of times this year with Charlie actually catching it.
Gotcha.
So
yeah,
not a bad idea there, but we remain tied at 6s.
We might get that shootout we were talking about.
Well, I'm already worried that I don't have enough room in my little score sheet I'm keeping track of. So fun battle so far tonight, though, between these two. And again, Stetson, the implications here are humongous. The winner wins the conference, gets a first-round bye for the 1A postseason, and then probably has to hit the road for the quarterfinals. The loser of this game, probably about a 10% chance of getting in via an at-large bid, and that's it.
Yeah, with great coaches at different schools in District 1, the strength of schedule could improve in District 1, and that would only help with the new max preps, reseeding, and things like that. That strength of schedule probably is a big factor in where you land in postseason play, and it probably won't get smaller going forward, the weight that it carries.
So Lakeside ready to kick off again here. Tyson Charlie. We have seen 2 kickoffs tonight, Stetson, 2 squibbers, 2 onside kicks, basically. Do we continue the trend?
That's low for 8, man. There's only been 2 kickoffs, but you'd expect 4 to already be onside.
Right?
Yeah, you'll have a whole game of it.
9-0.
The tighter the game is, the more onsides you'll see.
Yeah. Butte County over on the eastern part of the state has perfected it. 9:09 to play first quarter. Line drive kick this time. Taking on a hop around the 10-yard line. Good return out to the left side, and a big tackle delivered as well there by Halapion. And on the return for Wallace was Blake Rose, the freshman.
Yeah. Blake Rose. I ran the sticks up at different game, but Wallace's JV played a game up in Mullen this year against the co-op that's now only in Montana. And Blake Rose had a heck of a game. They tried him at QB for his first time. He threw a beautiful touchdown, and he's not afraid of much.
So 1st and 10 here for the Miners. Again, they're going to try and use that ball control offense because we saw Lakeside one play 50 yards touchdown. So
Yeah.
And again, Tyson Charlie continues to shadow Julian Davis. Davis is lined up in the slot on the left side. Miller out of the shotgun here. Will hand off up the middle. This is Wyatt Ritchie. Actually, we'll double check that. That might have been Ashton Holbert again. It was Holbert. And Holbert picks up about 3 or 4.
Yeah, with this kind of game, how fast they both struck each other. You know, like you said, with Lakeside scoring in one play, Wallace kind of putting a nice drive together. Sustaining a drive and limiting or totally eliminating turnovers may be what turns this game into whoever has the ball last may kind of take the cake.
And they marked Holbert down back only after a gain of a yard. So it's 2nd and 9 here. Miller back to pass, has time, throws out to Davis, but it's a little too far in front, incomplete. It's now 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Coop had a little heat on him there. I think he threw before he wanted his feet set, and he had to release that ball. He had to do what he had to do, and he put it away from the defense. That's actually a heads-up play on 2nd down. And that yardage seemed like more on Holbert's first carry there on 1st down, but out of the shotgun, I ran a lot of shotgun too as a coach, and sometimes you just get deceived. You go, that's about 5 yards a pop. No, just from where he got the ball, not from where he crosses. Sometimes that gets you.
Yeah, not that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, exactly.
LOS. All right, it is 3rd and 9. 8:18 to play, 1st quarter. Deadlocked at 6. Ball is at the Wallace 23-yard line. They've got to get to the 32 for the 1st down.
3-man rush, they should be okay. Oh.
Screen pass is caught short by Davis. He'll take it up to the 29, where it's going to be 4th down and about 5.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised here if knowing Coach Miller, knowing Wallace's staff, they may get up to the ball and hard count, or go on 2, go on 3, and see if they can't convert this without snapping the ball.
They did get Lakeside to jump off sides on the very first play of the game. So.
Yeah, one year I bet Wallace tied our total yards in the first half of a football game up in Mullen years ago, and I think they did it. Half of those yards were probably off making us jump on 4th and 5. It was ridiculous.
That's what forced you to early retirement.
Yeah, discipline, I tell you.
4th and 4. Miller lined up out of the gun. We'll see if we get a quick kick, and Wallace jumps.
The idea was there. Yeah, the idea was there.
That's Rossi Korsic, the sophomore guard, and now you figure Wallace probably will punt it away.
Pretty deep in their own territory. It wouldn't be a bad idea. I feel for that kid. I played a lot of guard in high school and college, and you don't ever mean to. You're just trying to go kick butt at 110 miles per hour, but sometimes you get ahead of yourself.
So 4th and 9.
Still convertible with a Cooper Miller and a Julian Davis. I mean, it's convertible, but I wonder what the plan is here.
Well, whatever it is, they're going to take the full 40 seconds on the game clock to the play clock to decide it. And again, it does look like they're lined up in an offensive set. They're going to go for it. Miller pump fakes, has time, now looking deep for Davis. Overshoots him, incomplete, and a turnover on downs.
And I'm the new guy, so I forgot to move that camera. But what I can tell you is it was just overthrown by about 3 yards. Sorry, everybody.
That's all right. We're all rookies at some point. Yeah, Davis there, you feel like he kind of lost it in the lights or lost it in the air a little bit.
It looked like he stopped running, which is definitely not a characteristic of Julian Davis. He's a big play guy, and he did get a step on Tyson there, and he had about 2 yards of separation. Had he caught that would have spelled trouble for the Knights.
Now instead, Lakeside taking over in very, very good field position. 1st and 10 from the Wallace 25-yard line. Following that turnover on downs. 6:45 to play, opening quarter, tied at 6.
I want to see my man Moffitt get into the mix here for Lakeside. He's a tough kid and a fun kid to watch play football.
We'll go with the sweep to Halapione on 1st and 10, and that is strung out. That is Wyatt Ritchie.
Yeah, great job. Lots of black jerseys flowing sideline to sideline on that defense. That's good.
The Lakeside offense tonight, I didn't have a chance to introduce the starters because they scored so quick. Up front, Lane Morris is the senior at center. Guard Archer Brown Saunder on one side and sophomore Elijah Sifford at the other guard. The tight ends are a pair of seniors, Josiah Dole and John Wilson. The fullback, Jarius Sijon Moffitt, the senior. Running back is Hala Pion, the junior, and it's Tyson Charlie, the junior quarterback. 2nd and 11 for the Knights.
Potentially same play they scored on first. It is.
Counter.
Pre-snap motion in the jet, and that counter back. Good job by Wallace, learning from a mistake and swallowing it up.
Yeah, that was Wyatt Ritchie again on the tackle there of Oliver Daniels. Only a 3-yard gain that time. The Wallace defense tonight looks like this. The defensive ends are senior Cameron Flood and sophomore Reese Williams. Sophomore Tyler Werfel is the nose. The linebackers are senior Julian Davis, senior Wyatt Ritchie, sophomore Marley Pierce, and then in the secondary it's Cooper Miller, the freshman, and Evan Strange, the freshman. Pair of freshmen back at the
young
tail
team.
end. Yeah.
Third goes to Charlie. Uh-oh.
Third
He's
and
got
7.
space.
Yep, Charlie, quarterback draw to the corner. Flag comes out at the very end of the play, though. Thrown in the area of a receiver blocking in the end zone. We'll see what the call is here.
Yeah, it'd be unfortunate if it's a stock blocking open field hold, but they happen. And you know what a godsend for Wallace, because Tyson Charlie getting into the open field is probably not what you want. That's a big break for the Miners.
It is holding against Lakeside. Now, it is a spot foul penalty, so even with the yardage, we'll see. Lakeside should have enough for the first down.
Yes, they do.
Move the sticks. So 1st and 10 now for the Knights with the ball at the 14-yard line of the Miners. But again, you saw it right there. Tyson Charlie, kind of like Cooper Miller, can just take off and go with it.
Yeah, very hard as a D lineman to push upfield and know your counter depth yardage marker when you're rushing a quarterback in a passing situation to know when to counter and come back with a guy that can explode left, right, backward, forward like Tyson Charlie can.
Of course, Tyson Charlie, an acclaimed basketball player as well, so he's used to having a lot of moves.
Outstanding ball player.
Arsenal. High snap. Charlie up the middle.
Direct.
Stiff arm delivered, and at the pylon, he's in for the 14-yard touchdown run. Tyson Charlie.
Yeah, he's a smooth athlete for sure. He has no panic when he runs the ball. He's got a plan, and he just kind of stays in control.
So Lakeside jumps ahead, 12-6, pending the conversion try here.
Boy, at this point, Brandon, if you were to put on your coaching hat, would you, with the way the black jerseys swarmed on defense on the actual jet sweep they gave, without blitzing it looked like, wonder if as a coaching staff they decide to blitz the counter side, backside of that play from a pre-snap motion. Maybe it would help on that, because Tyson, there was motion there and then just kept it and went the same direction that first play of the game went for big yardage.
And you would think, and I'll defer to you as the coach here now, there's an illegal substitution penalty on Lakeside, so this 2-point try is going to be from the 7 instead of the 2. Do you have somebody that's a spy on Tyson Charlie and you say your job is to follow him?
Yeah. Is that person going to match up with
Right,
an athlete like Tyson Charlie? It almost in a coaching sense, man. A lot of times playing Simpson from Cary and things like that. We were fortunate enough to have an Adam Ball or a Luke Trogdon, Blake Layton at times, John Pruitt, but not every team. Tyson might just be in a league of his own as far as being spied. Oh, a lot of room on the reverse. Again, that pre-snap motion and that jet stuff. Coach McGee probably ran a little bit of that in his day for the Montana Grizzlies as well.
Yeah, 2-point conversion good by Hala Pion on the reverse, and it's 14-6 Lakeside. 5:10 to play, opening quarter of action. Well, you set it up. Let's talk about this first-year head coach for the Lakeside Knights, Jerry Louie McGee. He is a member of the Coeur d'Alene tribe, and he works at the Mariman Health Core Center down there in Worley. And that field they've got there, that turf field, it's one of the best facilities. I think, that should serve as a kind of a neutral site for some 8-man events. I mean, it's a beautiful turf field that is just asking to be used. So Coach Louie McGee had never coached anything before this, and so stepped up and took on the challenge. Acclaimed high school player at Lake City High School in Coeur d'Alene, so the opposite of 1A. You're talking 6A.
Different universe.
Definitely. He was the Inland Empire League MVP his senior year, went to Montana, outstanding wide receiver and return man for the Montana Grizzlies. He was an FCS All-American punt returner his senior year. And as a Montana Grizzly fan, Stetson, every time Jerry was back to receive a punt, the fans would go, Jerry, Jerry, like the Jerry Springer show.
That's awesome. I would return a punt more like Steve, his security guard on the Springer show. That would be more of my speed, probably.
Yeah. Good deep kick by Charlie that time. Returned by Wallace out to the 30-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. And now if you're Wallace, because when you play a team like Lakeside that scored 70 against you last time, it's almost like you got to match them score for score, right?
Absolutely. I think sustaining drives for the Miners offensively, limiting turnovers, which they've done a good job of so far, but converting on those short 4th downs, maybe mid-range 3rd downs. I think sustaining those drives and limiting those turnovers more than scoring keeps Tyson Charlie off the field as a quarterback and maybe keeps that score below 70.
1st and 10, screen pass complete to Emmett Miles.
Nice move. Oh, no. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Lost it at the end, and Lane Morris recovers the fumble for the Knights.
Tough break for a young guy. You'll get into that, just trying to make an extra play. Emmett's the type of kid, he's pretty tough. He's gonna give a lot for one more yard, and sometimes that can bite you. As you're fighting so hard physically, the mental side forgets to cover those points. Unfortunate for the Miners. They can come back from this.
So with 4:59 to play here in the first quarter of action, 1st and 10 for Lakeside at the Wallace 30-yard line. Big opportunity to go up multiple scores here early. And 4 wide here for the Knights. Charlie all alone out of the gun.
Comes that pre-snap. And it's that same QB draw that they scored on last play. They like that pre-snap motion, get a linebacker looking one way and let Tyson do the rest. Great job by the defense there. Was that Marley Pierce, number 10?
That was.
Hearing from the coaches, Coach Rasmussen and I, coach on the Wallace staff, we took the boys. His son is my son's best friend, and we went on a grouse hunt. And one thing he told me is Marley Pierce likes to hit. And that's, gosh, you can't have enough kids like that, I tell you.
Only a sophomore, too. So.
Yeah. I don't know how tall he is, but he's definitely taller than me.
So only a 3-yard gain for Tyson Charlie.
That's a win.
Slot man in motion is Preston Spotted Horse. They're looking that way on the screen.
Oh, makes one guy miss. Yep.
Almost a face mask at the end there by Marley Pierce. Spotted Horse takes it out of bounds around the 24, where it's going to be 3rd and about 2. And look at this line change. 3 new guys coming in, including an O-lineman here for Lakeside. Yeah. I've noticed the last couple of plays, the guards have been lined up off the line of scrimmage as well. So you've got to make sure you got 2 receivers that are on the line.
Yeah, those. You wonder if it could be setting up a true guard eligible later, like maybe Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions try to pull against some teams. It's a good thing to have in your back pocket. I wouldn't design an offense around it, but to throw it in keeps the kids involved and intrigued and excited.
3rd and 2 for the Knights here, up 14-6, 4:09 to play. Opening quarter of action. Pion in motion.
Oh,
Charlie over the middle, has a man wide open. That is caught for the touchdown, John Wilson.
Yeah, it set up just like that first play of the game that they scored on. Little pre-snap jet motion, and then that fake counter motion. And it's essentially just a play action at that point without a true fake handoff, but the pre-snap motion did the job.
So Lakeside extends the lead here, 20-6, 4:03 to play, opening period of action. And yeah, like you said, this offense kind of like an onion. You peel it back and there's another layer, another wrinkle, and boy, too many concepts to defend.
Yeah, when you have success early in the game like that, like Lakeside scoring on the first play, it a lot of times sets you up and lets you do the things you were trying to set up later in the game, lets you do it a little earlier, and you can sure put the gas pedal down against somebody early. Looks like yellow was thrown. Yeah.
Ball start on the Knights, so another 2-point try from the 7 for Lakeside, up 20-6, 4:03 to play first quarter. Winner of this game wins the North Star League.
Exciting for the teams. in the most humble way possible. It's exciting for the first time in 5 years they'll have a new champion. As we were lucky enough to have success, but that's exciting. Other teams getting to hoist that coveted District 1 title. Great play design. Ooh, good blocking early, but good job by the Miners to swallow that up, getting off blocks, playing behind their hands well.
Yeah, they tried the counter to Jalapeno, but it was Wyatt Ritchie there to shut off the water, and so it remains 20-6 Lakeside here with 4:03 to play first quarter. Yeah, so you mentioned it. This league, the last 5 years, has been won by the Mullen St. Regis Tigers. You were the co-head coach along with Jesse Allen from St. Regis. Kind of a cool co-op between Montana and Idaho. You guys had a lot of success in the North Star League, obviously. You made a couple of deep playoff runs, quarterfinals, semifinals one time. Had a lot of success. That co-op still exists, but now they play in Montana in the Western Sea, and they're actually having a pretty good year.
They are. They are a young team similar to Wallace in age. A lot of young guys with maybe a senior or two that's pretty talented sprinkled in there. A freak junior in Barrett Bissett, who I know that the Tigers are going through a lot. Unfortunately for them, I think their own destiny has been taken out of their hands, and they're going to need a big win from Seeley Lake tonight against Superior, who the Tigers beat earlier in the year. But because Seeley dropped a weird game, they're going to need Seeley to beat Superior to send them as the 4th seed into that 11-team district that takes the top 4 into the playoffs. I think they travel to number 1 in the state belt, Montana, which is going to be a tough draw, but that's no different than when we had to go to Lane Kirkland's house. So,
yeah, the Cary Panthers. There's a deep kick. Wallace Marley just falls on it at the 22-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Miners. So Wallace down 2 scores here, 20-6. 4:02 to play here, first quarter of action. And that's where we talked about the winner of this game wins the North Star League. Loser of this game is going to be in the mix for the last at-large playoff spot. They're going to be competing with the Cascade Ramblers from down south. And it's just crazy to think that a 6-2 or a 7-2 team potentially could not make the playoffs, but it's the world we live in with Max perhaps.
Yeah, it is. And it's a tough formula. At the end of the year, I guess it's close enough to go with. But it is tough. It's tough on those kids. Winning records deserve some praise. Nice job by Cooper here, getting the edge.
And
Great job.
Cooper Miller going to take it all the way to the Lakeside 40-yard line. That is a gain of 10, 20, 30 yards for Cooper Miller.
Heck of a run for the freshman. Great vision. Legs are always moving. And I'll tell you what, I'm excited for the day that Cooper's not a freshman and has to keep himself safe, because he'll never not be a huge part of the offense, but once he can lower that shoulder, he's going to put it on some people. Cooper is a kid that you look at him right here and I tell you he benches 225 pounds more than 1 rep. You'd question if I'm lying. It's true. He's a very, very strong, athletic, gifted kid.
1st and 10 for the Miners. Ball at the Lakeside 39-yard line. Empty set. Miller fakes the screen. Now taking a deep shot. Looking for Miles. Overshoots him, incomplete. Actually, that was Gus Scott, the tight end, the intended man that time.
Yeah. Good idea to take a shot on 1st down. I don't hate it. You just gave up a couple plays. You had an unfortunate turnover. Try to get it back on a down that could go for some, might go for none, but at least you get a couple more tries. I was a big fan of taking some shots on 1st down.
That's the time to do it for sure.
Yeah.
We were talking about Cooper Miller. You know, in the media, we often, if there's a freshman getting a lot of playing time, it's almost like Cooper is his middle name and the freshman is his first name.
Right.
The freshman Cooper
yeah,
Miller.
I know. I was trying not to do that to him, but I think I did it more so. Ooh, good run here. Good hole up the middle.
Yeah, that's a good run there for Ashton Holbert again. And it's going to be a gain of 9 or 10 right at that down marker. I think it's going to be 3rd and inches here for Wallace.
Good job by the point of attack guys up front, blowing that wide open. That was awesome. Yeah, I think I call Coop a freshman, and I throw that out there more so to just let the world know what's coming, because he's only a freshman.
No, I do it too.
Yeah,
so
he's going to be so good, and I think that's why I say freshman, is to remind people you got 3.5 more years of this kid being really good.
3rd and 1. It's Holbert again. He's got the 1st down across the 25 to about the – actually across the 25 down to about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, good job by Garrett Clark there in the middle, double nickels. might be the greatest number on planet Earth. Obviously, I wore it. But yeah, Garrett Garrett did a great job there, blowing open that middle. He's picking angles, and he's kind of letting that nose almost overexcitedly take himself out of these inside run plays a little bit here so far.
So fresh set of downs here for Wallace. 1st and 10 for the Miner. I formation again.
They play action.
Bootleg, sling it, caught by Wyatt Ritchie, brought down immediately on the play by Tyson Charlie. Gain of about 4.
That was good football right there. Good design play, good throw, good catch, good tackle. That's good to see. You know, Coach Miller and Coach Young and Coach Rasmussen with the Miners, they caught us for years on Wyatt Ritchie slipping out of that fullback spot into the flat. It's a tough thing to defend when they hammer inside so well. They've always had a pretty good inside run game, and that really opens up those quick flats. But good job by the Knights to be right on top of it.
So 2nd down and 7 here for the Miners. 2 minutes to play in our opening period. 20-6 lead for Lakeside. Hand off to Holbert up the middle again, and that is stonewalled, maybe a yard.
Yeah, I think that B gap approach was maybe designed to be more in that left A gap, and just sometimes you see the other team and you think you can run right through them, but Lakeside's got a little. The beef they have is definitely up front. This Lakeside team is, I don't want to say undersized, I want to say athletic and speedy, which usually doesn't mean giant, where Wallace has some real sizable dudes up front. It's a neat dynamic to see work. Lakeside bringing 4 up front now. It's pretty much been 3.
Miller,
Naked
bootleg.
Great.
He's got to try and beat a couple of guys. Won't get there, though. Lane Morris bottles him up, and it's going to be 4th down and about 5 here for Wallace.
Yeah, tough defense to go to run naked stuff against. Naked for you at home isn't something I'm saying to be funny. Cooper's going to go to a part of the field with no lead blocking, no design blocking in front of him. It's a deception play. But if I am the Miners, that's the guy I want in the open field to make one guy miss and go. But kudos to the Knights for not biting on the bait.
So fresh, oh no, not a fresh set of downs. Jeez, can you tell it's the end of the year?
This might be that hard count though. And after blowing the first one, they may get it here.
4th and 5.
Oh, they went with the play.
Miller back
There's
to
that
pass.
flat.
It is caught at the
Get up,
20,
Richie.
the 15. That is Wyatt Ritchie for the
Great play.
first down to about the 5-yard line here for the Miners.
Yeah, that's that play. I had just they didn't have near as much success earlier, but I think Tyson ended up keying on Coop enough, and that allowed Wyatt to get in that play that Wallace has had a lot of success with for a couple years. Some fullback in the flat stuff. That's good play call there. Good ball by Cooper, good catch by Wyatt.
And that will be the final play of the opening quarter of action as Lakeside leads 20-6 here in the North Star League Championship. But Wallace is on the move. 1st and goal for the Miners from the 6-yard line when we come back. This is North Idaho Game Night presented by P1FCU on IdahoSports.com.
P1FCU has been serving Vandals across the Northwest for decades. Now, we're investing even more in Idaho students. We are helping make the Beams Financial Literacy Program available to all students and providing student athletes access to money management support through Elevate Idaho. Without our members, we couldn't impact these students' financial wellness. Become a member and get your exclusive Vandal debit card to help support Vandal Nation. Visit p1fcu.org/govandals to learn more.
This year,
Welcome back to North Idaho Game Night, presented by P1FCU here on IdahoSports.com from Sather Field in Silverton, technically 1 mile west of Wallace. Brandon Bainey here with Stetson Spooner, former head coach of the Mullen St. Regis Tigers, and it is 20-6 Lakeside as we start our second quarter of play here, but it is 1st and goal for the Miners from the 6-yard line.
I'm going to keep the camera on the game, but I could point it down at my son right now, make sure I don't have to ground him for anything. Just saw him walk by. Coop drops back. Getting flushed right. Has his eyes downfield. Oh. Tough crossing route to try to fit a ball, but Coop put some velocity on that.
Little zip, and I'm not sure, was he looking for Davis there?
I think so initially, but once he got flushed right, I think things changed to just try to muscle one in there.
So
the ball didn't look bad. I just don't know if the receiver thought he was going to see a 100-mile-per-hour fastball zip by.
So we've talked about the dueling quarterbacks here, but I think the more important matchup tonight is Davis on offense versus Charlie on defense.
Yeah.
So far, Charlie doing a pretty good job keeping him bottled up.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Davis is due for a big play. Oh, no. Well, that's just an athlete being an athlete there.
High snap.
Bad high snap, and he makes something out of nothing.
Miller is able to dance his way out of bounds around the 3-yard line, and so doing his best Tony Romo, Brett Favre, whatever you want to, whatever adjective you want to use there. It's 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. It might be closer to the 2. They are very close, though. It looks like Wallace bringing in an extra offensive lineman. That's actually the sophomore, Werfel, who kind of moonlights as like the Fridge, William the Fridge Perry in short yardage situations.
Yeah, stocky, well-built kid. I'm sure he's got that brick mentality with legs running into people. Can't have enough guys like that to coach, especially in short yardage situations.
Timeout taken by the Miners here with 11:35 to play before halftime. 20-6 lead for Lakeside. You feel like this is a must-score possession here for the Miners, facing 3rd and goal from about the 2-yard line. So Lakeside we think of more so as a basketball school, right? They've won numerous state championships in basketball.
Well-oiled machine up there on the court for sure.
You know, they did win, though, in football, 2 unofficial titles. Before Lakeside High School existed, Plummer and Worley each had their own.
Correct.
And in the 1970s, the late 70s, the Plummer Pirates actually went undefeated in back-to-back years. It kind of won the unofficial, they used to call it the hypothetical or mythical championship. Basically, whoever was at the top of the media poll.
A4, 11. I think they had a 9-0 year and an 8-0 year, which both of those are outstanding football seasons. So that's awesome for the Knights. Yeah, basketball is definitely something that they take a lot of pride in.
But that's something that head coach Jerry Lou McGee said, hey, we've got lots of basketball championship banners. Let's get one for football.
Yeah, absolutely.
3rd and goal from the 2. Miller under center. Back to pass, throws, has a man caught for the touchdown. That's Wyatt Ritchie.
Wyatt Ritchie, play action fullback in the flat. I mean, it's kind of like a shot of Novocaine.
Next door. I'll pass that on. We're getting requests here for the PA booth.
Hi, buddy. I know a couple of those kids.
That's funny.
They're good ones. Whoa, they thought we were the DJ?
Yeah. I get that a lot.
That'd be my brother-in-law in the booth next to us. And with him, you're going to get 90s grunge. Get a lot of Nirvana. That's good stuff.
So 2-yard touchdown pass to Wyatt Ritchie. Now Wallace going to line up and go for 2 here. But first.
Oh, I didn't even think anybody was set just yet. There were still guys moving all over. Maybe that's why the false start happened.
Boy, something about the 2-point tries here. It doesn't matter if it's Lakeside or Wallace. We're getting penalties here.
Getting a little too exciting for the 2-point.
So Wallace is going to have to attempt it from the 7-yard line now.
Probably those dang O-linemen again, you know, we're the most handsome and smartest guys on the field, but we do screw up now and then.
2-point try here. Miller
Good
out of an
snap.
empty set. Going to
Got
the
him.
end zone. Got it.
Oh,
That is the tight end, Gus Scott, for the 2-point conversion.
he got real late separation there.
And so with 11:30 to play here before halftime,
That was a big one.
20-14. Wallace has made it a 1-score game. The question is now, though, can they get a stop? Haven't been able to yet on defense.
Yeah, that's a tough one, and I mean, again, that turnover. There's no magic ball that tells you how a football game will end, but that turnover you just hope doesn't come back to bite the Miners. But they did what they need to do: come out, get a big score to bring it back to a 1-score game, and took care of the football while doing it. That's the first step to answering that call of adversity. So good for them.
And again, for the winner of this game, North Star District Championship, and a first-round bye for the playoffs for the loser. Probably going to get to sit at home and watch on IdahoSports.com. Squibber.
Ooh. Oh, Tyson has it.
Picked up by Tyson Charlie, and he is brought down just beyond the 50-yard line.
Heck of a job wrapping up there.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's not an easy guy to take down.
Yeah, and the guy that wrapped him up is he's given him probably about 50 pounds there. That was an impressive job.
Both of these schools have good wrestling. I mean, Wallace has good wrestling tradition, right? And Lakeside just restarted their wrestling program a couple of years ago. So,
well, judging off the tackle that Strange just had, you might want to look at the wrestling team too. That was impressive. Tough kid.
1st and 10 here for the Lakeside Knights from the Wallace 48-yard line. 11:24 to play here before the half.
Is this the counter? Ooh, no. This is all sorts of new. Reverse. Reverse pass to Charlie.
Spotted horse looking for Tyson Charlie. It's broken up by Julian Davis.
Great defense by Julian Davis. Great play design by Coach McGee. Again, we're fans. You put your coaching hat on too. First down's a great time to take a shot. And after Wallace had such a successful drive on that last one, killing a little bit of clock, bringing it back to one score, that'd be a heck of a way to take some air out of their sails, is to land a big one to Tyson Charlie. And good job by Julian Davis staying disciplined and not falling asleep there.
So, first-year head coach trying to inject some enthusiasm into a football program that, yeah, they made the playoffs a couple years ago, but before that it had been quite some time. I think you do. You have to inject a little fun into the program to get the guys to buy in a little bit.
Absolutely. The kids like it, and I think inadvertently it keeps their focus a little longer on those plays that are just in everybody's playbook, which just creates more crisp, efficient plays. And the more they know, the better the boat stays afloat.
Counter to Oliver Daniels that time. Daniels picks up 2, and it is 3rd and 8 now for Lakeside here. A key 3rd down. You figure this is 2-down territory with the ball at the Wallace 47-yard line.
For sure, yeah. 8-man in Idaho with the same size field that the Seattle Seahawks play on. Once you're on the opponent's side of the field, it's pretty much 4th and 20 might not be too long.
You know, I'd have to check with Coach Young up at Clark Fork, Patrick Young. No relation to Coach Young here from Wallace. But I don't think Clark Fork punted once last year.
I wouldn't doubt it. I'll tell you, a couple years ago they had an all-state punter in oh geez, what was his name? His little brothers were the twins up at Clark Fork, and they were
San Romans.
Carter San Roman was an all-state punter. I think he averaged in the 40s for his punts, 44-yard bombs over and over. He was a great play to have on 4th down, because I think we muffed a couple of those punts, and it turned into a 50, 45-yard gain for them quite a few times.
So you saw there Charlie going for the home run ball, overshot his guy by a couple of yards. Now it's 4th and 9, and Lakeside, you figure, is going to line up and go for it again here. This is a key 4th down for this Wallace defense. See if they can get a stop.
Yeah, I would expect some pre-snap motion here. They've had a lot of, there it comes. Ooh, I've gone toward the line just a little early.
Blow dead on the false start, so instead of 4th and 9, you're looking at 4th and 14 now, and the ball is back on the Lakeside side of the 50, back to the Lakeside 47-yard line.
And I'm going to stick to it. I said 4th and 18, 4th and 20. You still go for it with a Tyson Charlie? I'd do it.
But now unless it's really there, you probably have to throw it.
Yeah, if Tyson sees an opening to the open field, that would be option 1. But if somebody falls asleep, same play it looks like.
Charlie, everybody going deep.
He's letting it go.
Letting it fly, has a man, spotted horse. Oh. It's caught at the 20 and finally wrestled down by Strange.
Man, not bad coverage. Not a bad job staying in the pocket. Just got caught looking a little too much. Kind of lost track of where his guy may be, but he was in the route. Strange didn't do too bad there, but what a ball by Tyson. I mean, that was in the pocket. All the receiver had to do there was look over the shoulder and hold his hands out. It's kind of like Benny the Jet Rodriguez. It says, hold your baseball mitt up in the field, I'll hit you a fly ball. That was pretty good.
Yeah, Preston Spotted Horse looked up and the ball was there, and he's a short-handed receiver, that's for sure. And that is a huge 4th down conversion for the Knights. First and 10 for Lakeside now. Ball at the Wallace 19. 9:50 to play here before halftime. And again, 4 wide empty set here. We'll see if they have any motion. They don't. Charlie, out route, caught at the 10. Juke inside to the 5, down to the 1, and he'll be brought down there.
Ooh, Lakeside really got away with one there. The left guard, I think, thought it was a guard-eligible play, and he just ran a crisp 7-yard out route, and only 2 linemen stayed back to block, and the other receivers went downfield too. So I don't know if there's a little confusion there, but hey, if the yellow's not thrown, that's just a good play at the end of the day.
We've been talking a lot about the freshman for Wallace. How about freshman Braden Greensky making the reception there for Lakeside? So Greensky's first grab of the night. Timeout taken here by the Knights. 9:12 to play here before halftime. We'll take the timeout with them. It is Lakeside in front 20-14 and on the move inside the Wallace red zone. We're back in a moment. It's North Idaho Game Night presented by P1FCU on IdahoSports.com.
I'm always looking for new ways to save, but I haven't found anything better than my P1FCU Ascend checking account. It's a free account that earns 3.5% APY of your average monthly balance. That could feed your coffee obsession for 2 weeks. Not only am I earning money, but I also have all the great features of a checking account, like mobile deposit and mobile wallet. Open your Ascend checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today. APY is the annual percentage yield.
Welcome back here to Sather Field in Silverton, home of the Wallace Miners. Brandon Baney, Stetson Spooner with you here. North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. 9:12 to play here before halftime. 20-14 lead for Lakeside here in the North Star League championship game. It is first and goal for the Knights from the 1. And don't mind the camera angle, folks. It's how we had to angle it here in the press box so you could see the field. Just tilt your head. Charlie, man in motion is Syjon Moffitt. We haven't called his name much tonight. Direct snap to Syjon Moffitt.
I think he lost the ball.
Ball came out. Did Wallace recover?
That is huge for the Miners. That is exactly what the doctor ordered. If you're a Wallace Miner fan, that's a big, big swing, depending what they can do with it on offense here.
And I didn't see who came up with that. You know, Marley was the first guy in the backfield, but
I think it was Warfel.
yeah, it could have been Warfel.
He's getting the slaps on the head and the butt like he did something pretty impressive there. Either he stripped it or he landed on it, or maybe both. That all happened pretty quick.
So Warfel with the fumble recovery for Wallace with 9:08 to go here before halftime. And like you said, facing a first and goal at the 1, the Wallace defense gets the turnover. Now the flip side, though, you've got to drive basically 95 yards.
Long ways. The good thing for the Miners is they have a Cooper Miller and a Julian Davis to do so. Great run up the middle to get things started.
Out to the 10-yard line.
Hey, as a football coach, you can live with runs like that, and effort from your big dogs up front. You could live with that all game long.
And again, that was Ashton Holbert.
Good hard run.
It's going to be second down and 3 here. And with 8:45 and counting before halftime, Coach Young wants to play ball control. What he would love is a long 95-yard touchdown drive that takes all the time off the clock.
Absolutely. You want to go into halftime, maybe up 2. That'd be awesome.
Lakeside does get the ball to start the second half, so you do feel like this is kind of a critical drive here. Holbert again off the right side this time has the first down across the 15 to about the 16-yard line.
Yeah, Wallace's offensive plan maybe starting to suck that front line up, those front 4 of the Lakeside Knights in just a little to start hitting some sweep outside run actions. And it doesn't take long to pop one of those. Get a DN pinning his ears back a little too much and not containing the right way. Those can turn into big plays quick.
And again, I haven't seen Jarius Syjon Moffitt out there a lot on defense. He is kind of their key guy, the middle linebacker, essentially.
You know, I was just thinking that, and I was going to say I am definitely not questioning Coach McGee's football acumen as he played for the Grizz, but I would have Moffitt out there tackling people. He's a hammer. Good run by Coop. Broke a couple tackles in there. The whole team's in there to get that freshman. Again, freshman. get the freshman down. Good run by him. Good job up front again, giving holes and letting athletes make plays.
Yep, Cooper Miller moves the chains. 1st and 10 for Wallace at the 25-yard line. You know, that is something Coach Louie McGee for Lakeside said when I talked to him in the preseason. He said, hey, our goals are, number one, you're going to be a great student. You got to get a 3.0 GPA if you want to play. Second, you've got to be a good citizen, and then good football player. And so there have been guys in and out of the lineup, but Coach Louie McGee is installing some accountability into this program. He's done a nice job.
That's awesome. Every program, good or bad, I believe should start and needs to start, if you're going to be a good one, with a coaching philosophy that matters off of the football field as well as on. And that's a great thing to hear from Coach McGee.
Holbert takes this one for 3. It's going to be 2nd down and 7. We're down to 6:50 to play here before halftime. 20-14 lead for Lakeside, but Wallace with the ball at their own 27-yard line.
Well, we know it's not fullback in the flat to Richie because he's out here as a wideout.
Empty set, 3 receivers to the top of your screen.
Ooh, he didn't cross.
Draw play for Miller.
Oh.
And is brought down. Nice open field tackle and stop there. That is Josiah Dole on the tackle for the Knights.
That's tough. Wyatt Ritchie's going to get crushed by his coach on film there, but I see what he was doing. He went to block that one corner that was stopping Cooper from a big, giant play. His back went to him, and Wyatt held off of a clip there. That was probably a pretty good plan. Take the positive yards and don't get a big yellow flag to set you back.
Yeah, with the forward momentum, it's out to the 30-yard line where it is 3rd and 5. They've got to get to the 35 to pick up the first down. I formation.
Fullback flat to Ritchie.
Miller
went really deep.
Heat.
Oh, right. Oh, man, that's tough.
2 receivers in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I would say the flat got a little greedy and went a little too deep, and they ended up in the same spot, dragging an extra defender into that area.
Yeah, it looked like Wyatt Ritchie was the closest guy to it, 4th down. And it was a good pass rush that time, too. Lane Morris and then Halapion came on the blitz as well.
Yeah, I think they brought 5.
So Miller did a good job just rolling out away from the pressure. 4th and 5. Wallace probably going to go for it. They haven't punted yet tonight. 5:45 to play here before halftime. Tailback in the backfield with Miller this time. It's a quarterback draw. Miller scampering.
Oh, he broke it. He's gone.
To the 50, the 40, and
Great run.
Finally knocked out of bounds around the 35-yard line. Cooper Miller was dead to rights, and then he shook off the defender and took off for 30 yards.
It was Tyson Charlie who had him dead to rights. A little bit high tackling there, really hard to wrap up, and great job for, again, the surprisingly strong freshman for how he looks in pads. He's a brick, Cooper Miller. He can break arm tackles all day and night.
Stout for sure. 5:35 to play here before halftime. 20-14, Lakeside leading, but Wallace is on the move. 1st and 10 for the Miners from the Lakeside 34-yard line. Again, I formation. Miller under center. They'll give straight ahead here.
Yeah.
This is Holbert.
Great run.
Up to about the 32, maybe the 31-yard line. And we mentioned it in the pregame, Stetson. Alex Grubbs, not available tonight, left last week's win over Coeur de Christ with an injury, and really the focal point of the Wallace running game.
Yeah, he has great vision. He bounces A-gap to A-gap really well. If one A-gap shut off, he's a cutback kid, and he's got a good little burst. As his speed increases, because I don't think he's necessarily a young guy, but I don't think he's a senior. Is he a junior?
I'll double check here in just a second. Holbert, they're trying to push him ahead, maybe a yard, maybe right back to the line of scrimmage. For Alex Grubbs, a junior, 5'7", 170. He's rushed for 732 yards and 6 touchdowns on the season.
Yeah, that's a fantastic stat line. And again, as a junior, big offseason for him, big step would be heavy weight room and just increase that acceleration that he does have and then increase that breakaway speed. He's a kid that 5-yarders turn to 80-yarders probably pretty quick if he was to go that route and go at it real hard.
3rd and 4 here for the Miners. They've got to get to the 29 to pick up the first down here. 4:18 and counting before halftime. Give straight ahead to the fullback. That is Ritchie. And Wyatt Ritchie is able to wriggle his way right to the down marker. I think they're going to mark it short for the moment, 4th and inches.
Yeah, great job by that linebacker from the Knights coming up and stopping that, because the way Garrett Clark was blocking at center there in front of Richie, and the way Richie looked like he was going to Larry Zonka that for a first down. Good job to the Knights player. I didn't catch the number, but he came up and stonewalled it pretty good. The Knights bringing a lot here.
Miller is
got it.
Going to get it. He got pushed back initially, but kept with it, kept the legs churning, and converts the 4th and 1 to pick up the first down. And so last week, we're talking about Alex Grubbs got hurt in that win over Coeur Christ last week. Basically, once that happened, Cooper Miller became the running back. I mean, he rushed for like 250 yards and like 4 touchdowns.
I saw a huge game from Cooper, and I initially heard huge game, and I looked for all these passing stats. It was with the feet on the ground. That was impressive. That's good leadership, again, from a freshman. To have the leadership to take the game over like that.
Miller.
Got somebody. He let it go quick.
It's got Julian Davis, and Davis is
pushed out at, roughly about the 10, somewhere right in there.
But it's good enough for a first down for Wallace, and it should be 1st and goal for the Miners as Julian Davis makes the reception. So going into the game this week, obviously you can't give the ball to Cooper Miller 30 times. The quote was, "We don't want to get him killed." And so they've been leaning on Holbert a lot. They've given it to Richie as a change of pace. I think they're doing the best they can without their lead tailback.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as the game keeps going, if the Miners score here in the second half, stays tight for a chance to win the district title, if you got to give it to Cooper 2,000 times, I say you do it. He'll take it. He's a very tough kid, cerebral kid. That's why when he threw that pass so fast, you just knew that somebody was open, a big play was there. Because when he's a real good decision maker, and when he makes it in a split second, he sees something big.
Hard count. Lakeside jumped there.
Yeah, and Equal is taking a big shot on first down, sometimes doing a hard count and using the excitement of keeping somebody out of an end zone can play into a nice little 5-yard gain for you.
So now you're looking at 1st and goal from the 5, approximately.
Good place to be. Ooh, good block on the edge. I think Cooper's going to roll in here.
Miller.
Nope.
He's going to be out at the 1.
Yeah. And the crowd's going to yell for a horse collar here, but when you grab that horse collar and you ride them forward with their own momentum and you don't pull that straight back dangerous feel, it kind of just is football at that point. And Cooper bounces up, resilient kid, nothing dirty there. You heard the crowd kind of moan a little bit, and it looks bad to the eye, but no yellow, and rightfully so. They rode him out the right way.
Yeah, and now, you love watching football like I do, college, NFL, whatever. I feel like they've misinterpreted the horse collar rule now, where if you touch that back plate at all, it's a horse collar.
Yeah.
There has to be the tug.
The pull backward, that dangerous pull backward. It's essentially a hip drop tackle, which is a new rule that old football heads hate. But it's a hip drop, that angle, but different.
2nd and goal from the 1. They give to Richie, straight up the middle.
He's got to be close. He got to hit sideways pretty hard there. I think he's short.
Boy, yeah. To about the half-yard line here with 2:55 and rolling here before halftime.
Gosh, how bad would you like a Jalen Hurts, Jason Kelsey, and a tush push right now?
Yeah. This is where, if this were ESPN highlights, Chris Berman with the
yeah, exactly.
Mike, you're in good hands with Allstott.
Here comes the tush push right here.
Miller, he's got to be in. Let's see.
He's in. He's in. Quick signal from the far judge there. Quick hands in the air and a great score for the Miners. If they can land this 2-point, they're in a very, very good place going into the second half here.
A 95-yard scoring drive. This started all the way back at their own 5-yard line. There's only 2:31 left on the clock. There was about 10 minutes left when they got the ball.
Boy, in 8-man football, that can sure drain a defense. Kudos to the Knights they're all standing up. Nobody's leaning over, doing the loser lean, as you call it, with hands on your knees, huffing and puffing. But that kind of drive right there can take the wind right out of a defense. And in 8-man, they're going to turn around and play offense this next series.
Critical 2-point play. Miller, wide open cut for the 2-point conversion. That's Gus Scott. Second time they've hooked up on the 2-point conversion.
Boy, that was close. Gus Scott, great catch. Going down to get it. His body was definitely in the end zone. The ball was close. It must have crossed the plane. Great drive. Great drive. Big for the Miners. Kudos to their coaching staff, instilling some discipline in kids to to create 95-yard drives. It's not easy to do.
This is the first time Wallace has led since 6-0 on that opening drive of the game. And we talked about where Wallace had fallen behind by multiple scores to Lakeside. You knew they were going to need a stop or a turnover somewhere. Tommy Werfel recovered that fumble at the 1 yard. Lakeside had first and goal from the 1. They fumble. Wallace recovers at the 5. They go 95 yards the other way. That is a huge momentum swing in this game.
Yeah, that sure was. That dang turnover bug. It can sink you, or if you have none of them, it can sure keep you on top. But I'm not surprised by the score here. 1 turnover to 1 turnover. Usually turnover disparity is going to keep you pretty tight there.
Now, Lakeside, the way they scored, 2:31 on the clock before halftime. I mean, that might as well be 10 minutes. That is an eternity for Lakeside. Here comes the onside kick. It is bobbled for a moment. Now we've got a scrum. I think Archer Brown-Saunder was able to fall back on top of it for Lakeside, but whoa, Nelly, that was close.
Yeah, Archer's a great kid, too. I got to know his sister and his brother as they act as dueling ADs, a team of ADs from Lakeside. They do a great job for the sports in that community and the kids, and Archer's a heck of a discus thrower as well.
So last year, we were broadcasting in Worley, Clark Fork versus Lakeside. The game got over. I left my cell phone at the field, the Mariman Core Center out there in Worley. Patrick Young, the Clark Fork coach, actually found it. He gave it to Adrian Brown-Saunder. Yep. He kept it tucked away in his office all weekend, and I'm eternally grateful to both of them.
Yeah, they're really, really great folks. Good leaders and mentors for these kids to have.
1st and 10. Screen pass complete to Halapion, but he's going the wrong way. Now goes back north and south, and will end up picking up a yard or 2 out to the 49-yard line of Wallace.
Yeah, good effort there by number 32. I think his name's Reese. He's a sophomore for Wallace. Big-bodied kid. You look at him and think sophomore, and you got to be happy if you're a Wallace coach.
Yeah, Reese Williams, sophomore.
Yeah.
He was actually a wide receiver last year on offense. They asked him to move inside to guard this year, and he did it with no hesitation whatsoever. That's the epitome of a team player.
Yeah, and he's all effort. Big, strong kid. Sneaky athleticism. And sorry I got to do this to you, Reese, but at tech camp this summer, that was kind of my last hurrah with the team. He went to kick a field goal before the camp started, pulled his hammy, and sat out the whole camp. I'm sure that was not very fun for the Wallace coaching staff.
High snap. 2nd and 8, Charlie.
Go deep.
Going for the whole enchilada. A lot of contact. No flag. All sorts of jostling between Wyatt Ritchie and the intended receiver, Braden Greensky for Lakeside.
Yeah, you said it, contact. I like the no call there. Looked like a little Heisman moment for the receiver with a good push off, and defender kind of grabbed that arm and bumped it a little bit. That's the kind of stuff that you should let go on a ball that's overthrown by about 9 yards.
So Charlie has taken a couple of deep shots tonight. Really has hit on one, the one to Preston Spotted Horse on 4th and 14. So another 3rd and long here for the Knights with 1:30 to go here before halftime. 3rd and 8. They've got to get to the Wallace 42-yard line for the first down.
Comes that pre-snap motion. I'm a fan of Coach McGee's setup. I love that motion.
Charlie going to try and take off and run. Breaks one tackle, headed to the sideline. Will break a second. He turns on the turbo booster. Still going inside the 30, lowering the shoulder and down to about the 25-yard line. And that, in a word, is what Tyson Charlie can do to you.
Yeah, if anybody watching was understanding or was wondering what outstanding athleticism looks like, take a note there and screenshot that. That was, I don't know how many guys he made miss there and did it with relative ease. He's just a smooth runner, smooth operator in the open field. Big, strong kid, man.
Injured Wallace Minor at the end of the play. Able to
already up. Good news.
Pop up, and I think that was Evan Strange. And I think his sister, I'm going to assume it was his sister, Amy Strange, was playing volleyball for Wallace last night. Boy, the Miners nearly won or forced a winner-take-all district championship. They took Genesis Prep to 5 sets, but fell 3-2. Oh. So G Prep going to state for the first time in school history in volleyball.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for that school. That's great for that program.
And the MVP of the conference was from Lakeside, Tyler Lambert.
That's the setter, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, she's outstanding.
1st and 10, Charlie straight up the middle.
Charlie doing it again, man.
And that's really, for Lakeside, they've got a lot of toys in the toy box. They've got a lot of looks they can throw at you. But at the end of the day, when they really need it, they're just going to go, Tyson, go out there, maneuver, pick up the yardage that we need. It's now 1st and goal for Lakeside from the 7.
Yeah, it's not even. I admire Tyson so much. It's not even a blazing speed or a burst of acceleration. It's just a smooth, confidence way to play football in the open field. He changes direction when he wants, and arm tackles are not going to do anything to that guy.
Timeout taken here by the Knights with 29 seconds to go here before halftime. Lakeside trying to score right before the half, and that is a dangerous spot, Stetson, because then they receive the ball to start the second half. So you could see a scenario where Lakeside all of a sudden is back up by 2 scores.
Yeah, 16-0 run is not what you want to do here in the next handful of minutes of actual football being played, for sure. But, the Miners, credit to them. Last time we were down in this area, they had a heck of a stand, and things really went their way.
So out of the timeout here, it'll be 1st and goal from about the 6.
Yeah.
Here at Sather Field in Silverton, and I love they've got the old wooden bleachers here. So out of the timeout, 1st and goal from the 6. Charlie lines up under center. 29 seconds to go before halftime. They will give up the middle.
Great tackle. Whoever that was a heck of a stick.
They gave it to Lane Morris that time. It looked like, no, that might have been Daniels, and then Morris just popped up off the pile at the end. Clock still running, though. 2nd and goal from the 6. 20 seconds and rolling here before halftime. Charlie under center again. Pitch out this time off the right side. Halapione, he's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, great job by the quarterback there, Tyson Charlie, getting out front. I don't even know if he made the block, but I think the defender made his game plan off of Tyson's motion out there, leading that play, and gave a great wrinkle for 16 to roll in there.
So a 5-yard touchdown run for Halapione.
Oof, tough time.
And only 9 seconds left on the clock here before halftime. Wallace is going to take a timeout here to try and scheme up this too. Now, so Stetson, you've coached a long time. Some coaches take timeouts for, scheming purposes. Hey, here's what we're going to do to try and stop this 2-point conversion. Sometimes it's just a motivational thing. Like, hey guys, we got this. Pick your heads up. What do you think Coach Young's doing here?
Hopefully that. The motivational stuff. Coach Allen and I like to cut timeout once or twice just to chew some and keep them off the bench because they can't sit down for a while. No, I think Coach Young has a lot to be positive with these guys about right now. This is a team you can motivate. They can dig in and get tough, and they need to do that on this 2-point conversion, because get a big stop out of the halftime hut here in the 3rd quarter and do the same thing you just did. Put together a good drive, and then you can take that lead back. By 2 or 4 if you get your own 2-point conversion, and that starts to add up. And if the Miners can hold strong here, it's only 2 points, and some people kind of pshaw that off to the side, but that could be, in a game like this, 2 points could be the deciding factor.
2-point try here for the Knights. Try and go up 6. High snap, Charlie. Going to throw it at the last moment. He's got Preston spotted, horse, and it's caught for the 2-point conversion.
Man, great job by Tyson to keep his eyes downfield, and spotted horse to stay disciplined and run his route, because Marley Pierce had Tyson running for his life there. Just couldn't quite get the chest on him and was reaching with fingertips. And like I said earlier, Tyson Charlie is not afraid of arm tackles and fingertips.
Well, 9 seconds to go here before halftime, and I'm already pretty much running out of room on my score sheet. I'm going to have to do the old flip it over and right on the back. 28-22, Lakeside in control here with 9 seconds to go before halftime. I got to think Lakeside's going to kick it deep here, because you don't want to give a squib kick and then a kid like Cooper Miller a chance at midfield for a play or two.
Yeah, especially with a Julian Davis who's been relatively quiet. This would be the kind of time where maybe an athlete like that can shine and get you a big play right before the buzzer sounds. I would sure go deep. I would make him answer. But I'll tell you what, Big Reese is back there, and he runs the 400 in track for a big boy, and he can sustain that around that lap. So if he breaks loose, he can, long strides, he can stretch it out.
So we'll see what they decide to do here. It is going to be a deep kick to Reese Williams at the 20-yard line. Williams up to the 30 and will be brought down with 4.7 seconds to go here before halftime. So
5 seconds they milked off there. That's pretty good.
that's pretty good.
Pretty
Miller,
much a chance for one play here.
yeah, we know Miller's got a big arm here, but you think probably going to be like a trick play of some kind or something to try and get the yardage here.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I feel like in the world of football in the last 2 years, I've seen a lot of the old tweeter at Varsity Blues pulling the cheek and climbing the ladder with a hook and ladder play here. One of Paul Walker's famous scenes. No, they're going to take a knee and go in safe here. I don't blame them.
So, well, hold the phone. Little eagerness across the line there for Dylan Brown.
Yeah.
Lakeside knows, and they'll just run it off. So 28-22 Lakeside here at halftime. Pretty fun first half.
Absolutely. Good shootout, and I think by the fourth quarter, there's going to be a whole lot more points on the scoreboard.
So it is halftime. We will take a break and come back with the halftime show. We'll update you on the scoring from the first half of action, give you some 8-man games that have gone final already tonight. A lot of these games, some stadiums don't have lights, so they, kick off at 3:30. So we do have a handful of 8-man games that have already gone final. So stay tuned. We'll be back with the halftime show right after this. You're watching North Idaho Game Night presented by P1FCU on IdahoSports.com.
P1FCU has been serving Vandals across the Northwest for decades. Now, we're investing even more in Idaho students. We are helping make the Beams financial literacy program available to all students and providing student athletes access to money management support through Elevate Idaho. Without our members, we couldn't impact these students' financial wellness. Become a member and get your exclusive Vandal debit card to help support Vandal Nation. Visit p1fcu.org/govandals to learn more.
This year helped.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text START My Quit to 36072.
It is halftime here at Sather Field in Silverton, home of the Wallace Miners and home to the 2024 de facto North Star League championship game, where at halftime, the Lakeside Knights on top of the Wallace Miners, 28-22. Brandon Maney back inside the booth with Stetson Spooner. Really fun back and forth first half. Wallace strikes first, opening drive, 30-yard touchdown run by quarterback Cooper Miller, and they led 6-0. But from there, very first play from scrimmage for Lakeside, 50-yard touchdown run for Oliver Daniels, and we were tied 6-6 with 9:08 to play first quarter. Following a 14-yard touchdown run by Tyson Charlie to put the Knights ahead 14-6, Lane Morris recovers a fumble at midfield, and that leads to a 22-yard touchdown pass from Charlie to John Wilson, and all of a sudden Lakeside led 20-6, and you were thinking, uh-oh, here we go. Wallace responds, 2-yard touchdown pass from Miller to Wyatt Ritchie. They get the 2-point conversion to Gus Scott as well, first successful 2-point conversion for Wallace. That made it 20-14 with 11:30 to play before halftime. Lakeside drives all the way down to the 1. It's a first and goal from the 1 for Lakeside. They fumble. Tommy Werfel recovers for Wallace at the 5. Wallace then drives 95 yards the other way, takes about 8 minutes of game time off the clock. Miller scores on a 14-yard touchdown run, hits Gus Scott for the 2-point conversion, and Wallace was back in front 22-20 with 2.5 to play before halftime, but that gave Lakeside just enough time, Stetson, to run down the field. Hala Pione scores on a 5-yard touchdown run. Tyson Charlie hits Preston Spotted Horse with a 2-point conversion. That came with just 9 seconds to go before halftime. And Lakeside gets the ball to start the second half as well. So the Knights leading 28-22 in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah, it's definitely not the ball game if the Miners don't come out and cause some 3-and-out type of stop. But, boy, it would sure help keep this thing tight. But to the Miners' credit, been pretty resilient, battled adversity well. If the Lakeside Knights come out and score here, the Miners will have already been down by that much or more in this game. And they've shown us once that they can bring it back and grab the lead, and that would sure be a fun way to end this game with a close one with one of these teams pulling out some great offensive drives like they have been recently.
And so if we take a look at the Wallace side of things, you know, pretty encouraging that you basically had your backs against the wall, about to go down 2 scores. You forced that turnover at the 1-yard line, and really coming into the game, their plan was to keep it ball control, keep it fairly low scoring. I'd say for a half, 28-22, that's pretty low scoring for an 8-man game.
Yeah, I mean, I always look at it as 2 games, right? Yeah. So you got the first game and the second game. And if the second game matches, we're going to be sitting right up there in the mid-40s, trying to get to 50 to find a winner. And 50-40 is always a pretty good indication of a heck of a battle.
So if we take a look at some of the other 8-man scores, specifically the Class 1A scores, Stetson, that have come in.
Yeah.
The nice thing about 8-man football, and especially at the 1A level, is there's a lot of teams down there in the Treasure Valley, kind of that Boise area, or outs. They would loathe the thought of being included in Boise, but kind of the rural parts of District 3.
Yeah.
A lot of those places don't have lights, and so they have to kick off at 3:30 this time of year. So already we've seen tonight, well, before
You're
the
getting
night
scores nice and early.
Yes,
yeah.
Before the night even started, we had Cary defeat Camas County thanks to a forfeit, 15-0. It was a real bummer to see the Mushers, have to fold the season early due to not having enough guys compete after they got all the way to the championship game last year.
Yeah, that's wild, and what a team they had last year. Some real outstanding players, and that's sometimes how the 8-man game goes. And if you visit a lot of these communities, sometimes you're not shocked when you look over and see 9, 10, 11 kids filling out a whole team. You visit some of these communities, and it's where I choose to live. I love living in these small communities where you get to know everybody, and it instills a lot of pride in the area you live in. But it comes with its challenges, and one of those challenges in the 8-man football game is you never know. A couple injuries, you never want any of that. You also don't want an ineligible player or an unexpected family to move out. But with that, you can get a couple unexpected families to move in, which can always help too. It's wild how 2 to 4 kids can really swing an entire season, even for a defending second place team.
Yep. Other 8-man scores then from the 1A ranks, a lot of early games. Rockland ends up winning District 5-6 over North Gem, 60-44 the final. The Bulldogs will get a first-round bye. They've been dealing with some injuries this year. They were down to their third-string quarterback 3 games into the season, but they have adapted and really thrived almost.
Yeah, wow, good for them, especially losing the freak show stud at quarterback the last couple of years for them, who I believe went to Utah, or at least committed to the Utes at one point.
Yeah, Utah State, I think.
Oh, okay.
Teague Matthews.
Yeah, yep. Teague Matthews. What a great showing for a coaching staff to lose a player like that, come back and win your league again, win your district. That's pretty dang impressive to do when you lose a caliber of an athlete like that, because when he's there, right, the rest of the coaching realm was, oh, well, if we had Teague Matthews, we could win too. But, I mean, he's so good, but a great testament to their coaching staff to be able to do it with those next guys up, and it helps running a solid program like Rockland does, where those next guys up see a good leader like a Teague, and they put in that work in the offseason to be those next guys, and it sounds like they took care of business.
Yeah, and then we think from that district, we think Chalice and North Gem are probably going to get in as at-large teams. They've got strong enough Max Preps rankings. Over in District 3, Council had already clinched the Long Pin Conference title, but they make it official going undefeated. They beat Salmon River 64-26. Salmon River is a young team, a lot of freshmen. I'll be intrigued to see. It wasn't that long ago that Salmon River was kind of the dominant power in 1A football. So we'll keep an eye on that. You're looking at 4 teams possibly from that Long Pin Conference getting in with Council and Tri-Valley, who had the night off tonight. Garden Valley beat Cascade 36-14 this evening as well. And Cascade is the team that Wallace and Lakeside are both competing with here for, the loser of this game is going to be competing with Cascade for that final playoff spot. So for Cascade, they lost 36-14. Does that move the Max Preps needle enough? We'll find out.
Yeah, boy, that's tough to wonder. I know that, GV is always going to have a strong program. And then Salmon River had it. Ooh, quick onside here, and it went straight to Tyson Charlie, and he has the edge. And that is not how you're going to want to start this second half if you're the Wallace Miners, because Tyson Charlie just left a stamp on the first part of this second half with a big, long touchdown return on an onside kick.
55-yard kick return for a touchdown to Tyson Charlie. You got to give credit there to the Lakeside coaching staff, knowing they noticed pretty early on that, hey, Wallace isn't real inclined to kick it deep. Let's just park Tyson Charlie right in the middle and let him make a play.
Yeah, that bunch formation onside kick, something that happens, and Coach Allen and I actually talked about this years ago, was we thought about doing it, but what we found was your entire team inadvertently ends up running after that ball, and your outside contained guys feel lost, so they follow it in too. And just on that rare occasion like we just saw where a great athlete gets an edge, you have no help out there.
So now Lakeside's going to line up and go for 2. Up 34-22, 55-yard kick return for a touchdown by Tyson Charlie. Rolling out, diving catch. They'll say no for Preston Spotted Horse. Incomplete, so it remains 34-22, a 12-point lead here for the Knights.
Great effort by Spotted Horse there. I love seeing a guy lay out for it and lay it all on the line. I thought he had that catch, but must have touched the ground. I was going to ask you, Brandon, Salmon River. I was looking weeks ago because I just stay nerdy about some of this stuff, even though I'm not coaching. They had a really big win on the year. Salmon River beat somebody that I thought I saw, and in my small brain, I thought, wow, good for Salmon River and on the come up because they've had some rough seasons in recent past, but I thought they had a pretty good win.
Yeah, so Salmon River this year, they've picked up a couple of wins. They defeated Timberline of Weippe 60-26. They beat Lewis County 34-6.
Yeah.
And then they beat Horseshoe Bend last week 30-22.
Horseshoe, it was last week I looked at. And also shout out to Coach Monty Madrell at Lewis County. Anytime you can beat Coach Madrell, you've probably coached a good football game, because Monty, he can get kids to run through a brick wall for him. He's a heck of a guy and probably a very fun coach to play for. He's a no-nonsense kind of guy. Ooh, a little short on the onside here.
Yep, onside kick, and
as 25 tries to fan it.
John Wilson, good effort there. And then, Daniel's trying to blow it over as well. Kind of like in baseball when a ball is hitting that foul line and you're trying to push it over, but that's going to be procedural penalty here against Lakeside.
Try to yell at the ball a little bit.
Yeah, Coach Monty Madrell for Lewis County, best in the state at giving a quip or a quote to the local
He's the
paper.
best. Yeah, he's awesome. You're welcome, Monty. You're best in the state now that I hung it up. Just kidding. Monty can give a good quote. I like talking to Monty about hunting and just checking in with him time to time and seeing what my friend's up to. He's a great guy.
He coaches boys basketball as well at Highland High School there in Craigmont.
Okay.
1st and 10, straight at the middle. Hulbert out to the 45-yard line.
Is that recent? Did he recently take that?
Yeah, like two or 3 years ago.
Okay,
I think.
cool.
So,
that's about as long as I've been away from basketball, so that makes sense.
yeah, well, for the first time, speaking of your old stomping grounds, Mullen, I saw Paul Elston, who was the basketball coach there for a long time. He's the principal at Chalice now.
He is, I think, is it Chalice Elementary?
Or yeah, maybe that's what it is.
I think it
Chalice
is. Yeah, he's with the Chalice School District. He had reached out this week and said, your game up there could potentially, with Max Preps, have potential implications on Chalice. I don't know. Oh, maybe if they won last week's game. But yeah, I think he's actually up in the area this weekend. Might get to say hi to Paul.
2nd and 7. Miller
got a
going
guy.
deep, and it's dropped by Reese Williams.
Sometimes those are the hardest. Coop did the first part because sometimes as a QB, those are the hardest to throw is the wide open, you can't miss guys. It's equally as difficult catching the ball sometimes when it's the only thing you can do is catch it. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Great route by Reese, and they're going to wish they had that one back.
Boy, Reese Williams was a wide receiver last year, offensive guard this year, but in 8-man football, if you line it up right, you can have those guard-eligible plays, and right off the breadbasket there. So 3rd and 7 now, 3rd and 8 really for Wallace. 10:59 to play here in the third, down 2 scores. Every drive becomes critical at this point.
Yeah, single RB in the backfield. It's Richie. It's a good guy to have back there with you. Well, hard count. Good job by the Knights not falling. There you go. Get it to Davis early and maybe let him use some athleticism. Couple yards, not much.
Julian Davis gets it out to the 45-yard line where it's going to be 4th down and about 7 here. The hole closed quickly. Tyson Charlie came up to make that tackle.
Tyson is glued. You said it on the maybe the second play of the game. We had pointed that that Tyson was lined up on that slot, and it looked to be like you follow Julian Davis, and which understandable. Both great athletes. You stick athlete on athlete in the open field, and Tyson's done a great job on Julian today. And I know Julian's coming off I want to say groin injury. Don't quote me, but I'm sure that might be slowing him down a little bit, a little painful. Coop got out of here. He's got the sideline. Coop's got a great angle.
Good block for Miller. He's got the first down. Scampers out of bounds around the 25-yard line, and boy, did Wallace need that. They convert on 4th and 7.
Absolutely. Garrett Clark, the center there, kind of got smoked. Sorry, Big Garrett. But he did a great job recovering. And that's all effort, and that's a lot of heart from that kid. He kind of got worked, but he stayed with the play and ended up giving Coop just a little bit of life to get outside the pocket there. Whether a block happens to start the play or at the end of the play, you never know when it's going to have a big impact on the result of the play. That's why you just go to the whistle. Garrett did a good job there.
10:09 to play here in the third. Wallace on the move. Down 2 scores, 34-22. 1st and 10 for the Miners from the Lakeside 25-yard line.
Another hard count. Good job, Wallace. Oh, big hole for Richie. Boy, you can live on 7-yard runs up the gut. That was a great job.
Lane Morris finally brings him down, but it's at the 19-yard line. So like you said, 6 yards there. And
I feel like I want you to text Coach McGee and find out why my boy Moffitt isn't out there at linebacker for the Knights. He's in years past, he's been a absolute wrecking ball tackling machine at linebacker. I'm wondering if maybe not messing with a little injury of his own, perhaps. That's the time of the year we're in. Getting a little colder. Last game of the regular season.
Miller under center here on 2nd and 4.
Lakeside's bringing the house.
Another hard count.
Yeah. Another hard count. Good discipline by both teams. Not to jump. And
that's Ashton
not
Holbert.
to encroach.
Holbert, it's going to be 3rd and about 1.5 here, 3rd and 2 officially for Wallace. Yeah, I really haven't seen Jarius side John Moffitt except for that one play at the goal line where they fumbled.
Yeah, the wildcat motion there to quarterback. And it looked like it was on the exchange to me, but I couldn't really see very well. I'll tell you what, that fullback in the flat to Wyatt Ritchie on that last play would have worked, and they're running it right here. And they have Davis over the top. Oh, man, Tyson Charlie was right in his pocket.
Yeah, Miller had nowhere to go with it, so now you're looking at 4th and 2 here for the Miners.
boy, I almost don't wonder to myself if Richie's getting a little deep on those flats. I think the read for Coop there would be him real quick, and the deeper you go just takes a little more time to develop, and keeps the defender away from underneath Davis in case he has to come back and get a ball. But it's hard when you got to step on a guy. You want to go deep and go get a touchdown. I understand.
So 4th and 2 for Wallace. Let's see what they come up with here.
Single back, Hobart in the back. Julian in the slot, but Tyson's not pressing, but he's definitely not giving him a lot of room.
Miller, keeper, up the middle. He's got the first down.
Yeah, he moved the sticks. Great job. He definitely was looking to get more, but good job to the Knights. They only gave up what he got. I mean, there was nowhere else to go there.
Well, here's a Moffitt that's been busy tonight. Julian Moffitt, the junior defensive end. He is Jarius's brother.
Yes.
He made the tackle there, but
he's the younger brother, correct?
Yes,
and he is
brother.
built like a horse too.
Yeah,
he throws the shot put real well. Real nice kid. I mainly get to know the Lakeside kids the most in track and field when I was coaching and driving bus and doing all that stuff. Really great kids. We usually tried to put our tent right next to Lakeside. We got along real well, and yeah, the Moffitt boys are pretty special athletes. Oh, ball's on the ground. Coop falls on it in a quick, smart action there. That was what I would have also done.
Yeah, Miller just had to fall back on top of it, and will lose about 5 yards on that.
Shoot.
Oh, closer to 7 or 8, actually.
Yeah,
it's a tough one.
Getting cold, little dew on the grass, probably has something to do with that. Good heads-up play by a cerebral kid in Cooper Miller, though. You know, the first time he tried to grab it was razzle-dazzle on Cooper Miller. I'm going to make a play. The second time it slipped out, good idea. Just getting on it, live to fight another down.
So we'll see what Coach Jared Young, and really, you know, it's a nice coaching step that Wallace has here. Corey Miller's the offensive coordinator. Griff Rasmussen is the defensive coordinator. Jared Young kind of just oversees the operation.
Yeah, that's a nice place to be for Jared. Jared and I actually played college football against each other for a year or two. He was at Western Washington, and the program dissolved, and he then went to the Eastern Oregon Mountaineers, which is NAIA in the Frontier Conference when I was at the University of Montana Western. And I remember Jared on my scouting reports at safety for the Mountaineers, and he was a heck of a player. We had some really good battles with them. Couple low-scoring games, couple high-scoring games. That was fun times.
Yep, over there in La Grande.
Yeah. Jared's actually from Kennewick and grew up with my best friend who moved to Kalispell from Kennewick in the 9th grade. They grew up together, and they're also very good friends, so that was kind of cool to have a little triangle of friendship there.
Triangle of friendship. I like that. That was good. That was good.
If you get a square, you're just getting too many of them.
Meanwhile, Wallace kind of stuck in neutral here. It's 3rd down and about 20 for the Miners here. Ball is back at the Lakeside 25-yard line. They've got to get all the way to about the 4 to pick up the first down.
Boy, this would be a heck of a time for Julian Davis to bust open and make a heck of a play. Kid can jump out of the gym on a basketball court and go get a ball.
Miller looking that way.
Got a guy.
Going to the end zone for...
It hit a hand, but I think it was dropped.
Let's see who that was intended for. Looked like he was dialing it up for Emmett Miles.
Emmett Miles, man, he got there. That ball looked overthrown, and kudos to Emmett to stay on path and get to it. Just ran out of real estate. Tough ball to catch. Good throw by Coop, though. It's the only place he could really put it there.
Yeah, it's a tough one for sure.
Good protection by the Miners and good coverage by the Knights. Going Davis spread out here. Tyson's just mirroring the guy. Smart move by Coach McGee and his staff.
4th and 20. They basically got to go for it all again. Miller going to let it fly. Looking for Miles again.
Ooh.
Can't get there.
A little bit of contact. Nope. All right. I like it. Let him play.
That was Preston Spotted Horse in coverage for Lakeside, and basically Miles got sealed off. He couldn't come back to the ball.
Yeah, the back of the end zone became an accidental 3rd defender there on that pass. That was tough, but good job for Miles. He's battling, trying to get to it. That's all you can do. Good ball by Coop. I mean, 4th down, 4th and long. Take a shot.
So turnover on downs goes back to Lakeside here with 6:26 to play in the third. And the Knights in front 34-22.
Yeah, you're going to need not necessarily a quick stop, but I would go out on a limb and say definitely going to need a stop here.
And meanwhile for Lakeside, they're so explosive on offense.
Yeah, very athletic. A little bubble screen out here would be great. Not going. Oh,
Charlie dancing around.
Got to corral him. Oh.
Horse is out of the barn.
Angles you got to take on that kid.
Charlie loses the ball at the end, though. Recovers it right at the 49-yard line. All of that excitement.
Man. That last blocker he had kind of turned and ran to lead him, and I thought it was Tyson running. Sorry, folks at home. Drifted the camera on you a little bit there.
You definitely can get lost in the amazement of it all.
Yeah, if my wife's watching, she's not going to want to hear my excuses. She's going to give me heck when I get home.
You know, that is it's a good sounding board when you're in this broadcast industry. My wife always tunes in just to make sure we're on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
text you. Hey, you sound stupid. Change it up.
Right.
Tyson's got good cover, good protection here. Kind of broke down, but he kind of made it. He wants to go deep. He's really, really looking downfield. And
nearly picked by Julian Davis at the end of the play there. Charlie had all day.
I was very surprised Tyson continued to throw, just with the athlete he is. If he broke and ran there, I mean, Coach McGee's sleeping good at night knowing that his athlete has the ball in open space. But Tyson really, really wanted to go deep there. He saw something. I think he saw something, then didn't, then re-saw something.
And Reese Williams nearly got the sack on him, but, man, Charlie shook him off like a rag doll. And then the snap was high, too, so good thing Charlie can elevate using those basketball skills to go up and get it.
D-end against Tyson Charlie would be really tough. You have to focus outside shoulder, outside hip there with your angle, because if you go inside on him, he's going to get outside you and make you look silly, and then your coach is going to yell at you about the old word contain. If you've ever played D-end, you've heard it.
High snap. It's a little shuttle,
Yeah,
kind of a shot put out there to Jalapillon.
Well, it worked. Great play.
Pion out to the 35-yard line and a first down.
Kudos to Tyson Charlie, man. Throws that ball, little Mahomes shuffle pass type thing, and instantly becomes the lead blocker on that play, 6 yards downfield and about a step and a half after he chucked that ball. That was pretty impressive.
And so now, Lakeside clock continuing to roll here as well. 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. They're already up 2 scores, 34-22. You feel like if they get ahead by that third score, it's going to be really tough for Wallace to climb that mountain.
Yeah, it'd be tough sledding. If Wallace could punch one in before the fourth quarter, it would not be out of reach. Oh, Tyson's got a great seam here.
Charlie off and running.
Great job. Oh, I think they got him out of bounds there. Yeah. Good job wrapping up with that jersey and giving it your all.
Right around the 9-yard line.
I don't know if it was last year. I think it was 2 years ago. Ethan Howard at Clark Fork High School was a big, tall, about a 6'4" quarterback. And I want to say Lakeside had the lead on him. And this is not a shot at Lakeside. It's just to show you what 8-man football can do if you're not aware. I don't know if you covered this game or heard about it, but I think Lakeside had a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter. And Ethan Howard threw 3 or 4 touchdowns, or 5, in just the fourth quarter with roughly about 6 or 8 minutes left. They scored just one after another, got stops, and they actually pulled that game off.
High snap. Charlie slinging it, has a man wide open. That is caught for the touchdown by Braden Greensky.
Man, just a breakdown in coverage there. The underneath out, getting ignored for the slant going right into the teeth of your defense into the end zone. That's why coaches run those patterns, and it paid off there. Tyson, good read by him. Sometimes your quarterback doesn't see the obvious stuff, but he definitely did.
So, yeah, you were mentioning that Clark Fork Lakeside game last year. That essentially gave Clark Fork the second spot into the playoffs, along with Mullins St. Regis.
Yep.
Stetson, I was at that game, broadcasting for IdahoSports.com.
I only tried to catch the end of your broadcast later that night so I could see it because Coach Young had texted me and said it was wild. And
High snap, Charlie's
Wide
got
open
spotted
again.
horse, but he drops it. Incomplete, so it remains 40-22. Lakeside here with 4:29 to play. And I did the unthinkable. There was like 10 minutes left, and I said this on the air. I said, well, it looks like we're going to be headed to the Mariman Health Core Center next week for a first-round playoff game hosted by Lakeside. And then Clark Fork had the comeback of all time. What added to it, the fun, was their athletic director, Casey McDonald, was on a bus with the volleyball team. Clark Fork was traveling down to Fruitland for a state volleyball play-in match the next day. They were on the bus watching the game.
Another great name drop, Casey McDonald, one of my favorite guys I got to work with. Again, we're all at competing schools, but 90% of the year we're all colleagues and trying to do what's best for kids, and that was the fun part. I got to meet a lot of good people. Casey's definitely one of them. Phil Kimmick is also a great guy, Clark Fork's principal, if you've ever got to interact with Phil. He's a big help to me in my career going through all this stuff.
So Phil was the guy that was taking care of me since Casey was with the volleyball team last year.
Casey was trying to get out of work for the AD job.
Yeah, right.
He was being a cheerleader.
The cool thing Clark Fork has is they've got in their press box kind of like a luxury suite for like boosters. You pay like, I don't know what it is, but X amount per game, and you get to sit in there and eat food, and you're in a nice warm place with tables, and it's pretty cool.
Man.
Onside kick again, recovered by Wallace at the 47-yard line. Now the Miners, no more room for error. You got to cash in on every drive here with 4:28 to play in the third.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think I'm going to take a break, Brandon, and text Phil, because I've never been in this fancy room with all the snacks that you're talking about up at Clark Fork. And I'm a little bent out of shape about it. I'm going to have to get at those guys.
Yeah, because we were looking for spots to broadcast, and I said, oh, well, what's this room for? And they're like, oh, that's our high end.
That's the room Stetson Spooner's not allowed to go into.
For the boosters. They do. You get a hot meal. And,
oh, man.
Yeah, it's got the fancy tables in there. And,
oh, Phil, you are in for it, buddy. little bunch here to the left. I like that. Got Julian Davis finally on a – there you go. Get him free and let him do some stuff. And you know what I'm noticing right now is, do you notice the correlation to Julian getting free there and what isn't on the field?
No Tyson Charlie.
No Tyson Charlie. It's weird how that goes hand in hand sometimes, and it's just the kind of athlete Julian is, and Tyson as well. So,
and now he just came back out. Tyson Charlie got one play off, and they said, we need you back out there.
Yeah, squirt out of the green Gatorade bottle and get back out there, athlete. Yeah, that is right. It's got to feel good as a coach when you march a Tyson Charlie out on the field for your ball club.
And this is really the first year that Charlie is playing football. There's a snap to
QB
Miller.
draw, great design play. Gosh, Cooper really likes to hit north-south hard, and then when he breaks to a sideline, he is decisive and he goes. Good vision.
He does. He has the vision of a running back when he decides
absolutely.
to take off and run for sure.
Yeah.
So Tyson Charlie has obviously been a fantastic basketball player. Has been kind of injured and nicked up the first couple of years of his high school football career, so he's never really had a chance to play until this year, and what an introduction.
Yeah, his freshman year, we had heard a lot about him. I saw him play junior high football, and he looked like a cheat code out there. I'm wondering if he scored 80 touchdowns in his 8th grade year. And we heard he broke his collarbone before the season, but all I can tell you is we were already scheming our defense to battle Tyson Charlie as a freshman quarterback, and we were doing that as early as camp in June. We were getting ready for that show. And when we heard he wasn't healthy enough to play, we felt bad for him because you always want good athletes on the field. But defensively, we got to breathe a little easier.
And that is enough to move the chains for the first down here for Wallace. 1st and 10 for the Miners. Ball at the Lakeside 32-yard line with 3.5 minutes to play in this contest. The incredible thing about this North Star League, Stetson, is that all 4 quarterbacks are underclassmen. Yeah. Tyson Charlie's the oldest guy as a junior. Then you've got the sophomore Mateo Cruz at Clark Fork.
Yep.
And then you got a pair of freshmen, Cooper Miller for Wallace and Grant Clemens at Court of Christ.
Yeah, got a guy. Got Emmett. Oh, man. Had Emmett Miles there just wide open. I don't want to say underthrown, but definitely hit the hands and wasn't in perfect unison. But, man, that play design really had Lakeside in trouble. But the football gods smiled on the Knights with that one. There's Moffitt, 11. Isn't Julius 11?
Yeah, that's Jarius.
Or Jarius, Julian's brother. Yeah.
Jarius John Moffitt out there.
That dude can tackle.
Yeah, you got to think maybe he's on a pitch count or something. He hasn't
I'm
been out there a
wondering.
lot.
Wondering if maybe he doesn't have a nagging something going on. He's getting some reps here. Sitting him at corner. I haven't seen him do that much. I'm sure he can do it. Heck of an athlete. Breaking left here. He's got a lot of room. Good moves.
Stops
Oh,
on
great tackle there. Great effort reaching out and catching that foot by number 16 there from the Knights.
That's Jalapeno on the tackle.
Heck of an effort. I think he had a mouthful of grass there. Oh, get the helmet off. Pion might be in some pain here. Something going on.
And that's not what Lakeside wants to see, because Jalapeno has been a fantastic running back for the Knights all season, and obviously a key member of the defense.
Wondering if that would be wild if a cleat off that shoestring tackle came up and smacked him in the eye, but he's definitely holding it like he got something in his eye or whacked in the face.
Well, while they...
Maybe just a bloody nose. Maybe I'm just got bad eyesight. I don't know.
Jalapeno is going to walk off on his own. Looks to be all right.
Heck of a tackle.
That was. And a good run there by Cooper Miller as well. 1st and 10 for the Miners. Ball is at about the 12-yard line here.
Man, I like that matchup with Emmett Miles out here to the left on the corner number 3. Just based off size, and Emmett's dropped one and had that fumble. He's going to want a big answer here. Oh, got Julian Davis.
And it is in for the touchdown. That is going to be a 13-yard strike from Miller to Julian Davis. First time Davis has found the end zone tonight.
Got to tell you, other than the opening drive for the Miners, that might have been the fastest scoring drive they've had, which couldn't have came at a better time.
Well, yeah, now your plan to run the clock, you're behind the 8 ball here. You've got to pick up the tempo a little bit.
Yeah, you can make it it's a 2-score game here headed into the 4th. And wide open, great route there, running the flat. Heck of a ball by Coop. Good decision, good route, good football.
Who caught that? Was that Richie?
No, 14. I forget his name, but he's the big younger underclassman we talked about. Yeah, great size kid.
He's caught 3 conversions tonight.
Yeah, that's the play. That's the guy. Sometimes you just got a guy that does one thing exceptionally better than everybody else, and if his is 2-point conversions, he can make a living doing that for the Miners.
All right, so 40-30, 10-point game. Lakeside leading, 2:29 to play here in the 3rd. We'll be back with the next kickoff right after this. You're watching North Idaho Game Night, presented by P1FCU on IdahoSports.com.
I'm always looking for new ways to save, but I haven't found anything better than my P1FCU Ascend checking account. It's a free account that earns 3.5% APY of your average monthly balance. That could feed your coffee obsession for 2 weeks. Not only am I earning money, but I also have all the great features of a checking account, like mobile deposit and mobile wallet. Open your Ascend checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today. APY is the annual percentage yield.
We are back here at Sather Field in Silverton. 3rd quarter, 40-30 score. Wallace kicking off after Cooper Miller found the end zone on a 13-yard touchdown pass to Julian Davis, but this kickoff goes out of bounds.
From the Knights, I take it where it went out of bounds here.
And honestly, if the alternative is that or kicking it to Tyson Charlie, I mean, I'll take the penalty. Tyson Charlie started this second half with a 55-yard kickoff return for a touchdown on a squibber up the middle.
Yeah, I think that ball went 11 yards. It wasn't a bad onside kick. The only bad part about it was an athlete like Tyson Charlie picked it up.
Yeah, that was the tough part for sure.
Glad to see Julian Davis get open here, get going a little bit that last drive, find the end zone. Might bring him up a little bit to end this game on a high note, because I just coaching against him, I know what kind of athlete he is, and he definitely had a quiet first half there. So if he can get going, that's definitely a good thing for the Miners moving into this 4th quarter. Back to that spread, that 4 wide look earlier, probably some pre-snap motion. And the problem with this is if you cover it well, Tyson still can use his feet.
High snap, Charlie rolling out, feeling the pressure, but
what's happening. Yeah. They had it covered, but the problem is Tyson does that.
And he might take this all the way. Wow.
Dang. That is a weapon in the open field, and that's probably an understatement. That kid, that's impressive.
So that'll end up being a 57-yard touchdown run for Tyson Charlie. Well, at the end of the game, Stetson, I know it's only 2:14 to play in the third here, but in the post-game show, we always hand out our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Sometimes it's a real spirited debate in the commercial break. Sometimes it's fairly simple. If this continues to hold, I mean, I don't know how it can be anybody but Tyson Charlie.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if Cooper Miller pulls a rabbit out of a hat and ends up pulling this off for the Miners, we could definitely make an argument for him, but it's one of those, if the game ended now, Tyson Charlie's that player of the game for sure.
Going for two, lobbing it over the middle, broken up.
Yeah, good defense by the Miners there.
And so Lakeside's had a tough time converting the two-point tries tonight. Leaves it at 46-30, a true two-score deficit for Wallace, leaving the door cracked open just slightly here.
It is. I mean, before they scored, it was a two-score game. The Knights score, and it's still a two-score game. So at the end of the day, you're mad you gave up the touchdown, but you're kind of in a similar predicament.
And so now for Wallace, you're going to try and just – how hard is it as a coach to just keep climbing that mountain and chipping away and cutting the gap, but then you look up and you're down 2 scores again?
Yeah, it's hard, but the thing that I would say the Miners coaching staff has on their side is they've already done it once in this game. They've already erased a 2-score lead, deficit, I should say, and grabbed the lead on top of that. So if you're the Miners coaching staff, you're filled with some optimism here, and I think the kids can rally behind that, knowing that they've had recent success, as recent as the first half, doing just that.
So Lakeside will kick off again here. Tyson Charlie to do the honors.
Boy, you got to think it's deep here. But one of those kangaroo kicks. Good idea.
Kangaroo kick.
Yeah, we had a referee call that because we old school heads were prevailing, and we were yelling about the onside kick rule and can't hop it up in the air for safety. And we get it. We got to keep the kids safe. We said, how are you supposed to get the ball in the air? And the ref said, stick it up straight and kangaroo kick it up and over the line. So what's the difference of the ball going high off the ground or high off the tee? It's still high in the air. Yeah, it was a weird conversation, but I've had those with referees, and they do their best, and so do I.
Semantics.
Yeah, definitely friends with more referees than I'm not, but there's been a few of them that probably aren't sad to not hear me on the sideline anymore.
Penalty flag comes out.
Couldn't tell. Might be formation.
I can't remember which game it was, Stetson. It was one of your quarterfinal games the last 2 years. It was either Garden Valley or Hagerman. I can't remember. But you and Coach Allen both were getting a little boisterous on that sideline. I can't remember which game it was.
I can't remember. I think the GV game, if I remember, the first half was 6-6 or 7-6 at halftime. We were right where we – well, we weren't right where we want to be. We blew a lot of scoring drives, but I think it was the Hagerman game.
Yeah.
And it just – yeah, there were some things that we were seeing differently than the officiating crew, which we're definitely not the first or only coaching staff to be accused of that. But after the game, I make sure to let them know that a cold drink is always on me if the refs are willing to go have one, whether they threw 3 15-yarders on me or none, whether we win or lose. I always appreciated what those guys do. It's a tough position to be in. I usually compare being a referee as to being a cornerback. It's the hardest job on the field, bar none. Yep. And that doesn't really change on the basketball court. That's just even louder, and you hear more fans yelling at you. So kind of like running for president. Half the arena hates you and half enjoys you.
Yeah, and Hagerman, speaking of, they moved up to the 2A level this year and just took down defending state champ Butte County last week.
Yeah, having a good year. Ooh, just my fault on the camera again. But what you missed was an overthrown ball. But Miles definitely got open there. They're going to connect on one of these. They're going to connect on one of these. And again, taking a shot on first down. Good idea.
I mean,
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, down 46 to 30 here with 2:07 to go in the third. You got to start taking some deep shots. And we mentioned it, Emmett Miles coming in on the season. You know, he's averaging about 30 yards a catch. So
Right. It's one of those flip a coin enough times, it's going to land on heads, and Emmett's going to catch one of these, make a big play, and it's going to boost his team's confidence and put them not necessarily in the driver's seat, but bring them a little closer in the race here as we come close. Ooh, did White cross first? Was the false start drawn? Ah. Close.
we've got another final score to report here from the 1A ranks. Tri-Valley shuts out Horseshoe Bend 70-0.
Oh, man.
Tri-Valley's going to be hosting a first-round playoff game next week against somebody.
That is a whipping.
2nd and 15 now for the Miners. Miller just going to take it.
I
and
like
run.
it. Overload one side. Go that way with one counter pull. Nice play. Good work. I think that was Big Wyatt Ritchie leading the way.
And took it all the way to the 45-yard line where it's going to be 2nd down and 5.
Great run.
Pretty manageable.
Yeah. It's going to be 2nd or 3rd. The
Oh,
overthrow.
third.
Yeah,
Third,
yeah.
yep.
You're right. He did have on the stick, though, the wrong. I was going to say somebody overthrew Emmett Miles there a minute ago.
You know, the chain gang, the first play tonight, they had the 4th down on the
Oh, nice.
on the down marker. 3rd and 5.
Run up
This
the
is
middle here. Great hole, and I believe a first down.
A great hole for Holbert.
Yeah.
Ashton Holbert.
And he's a younger guy, too, isn't he?
Yeah, freshman.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
And just enough for the first down for Wallace.
That's all you need to get it this time. I know you'll start hearing some of the more passionate fans and parents start to yell, we got to get in the end zone, got to get in the end zone. You're not in the 4th quarter yet. It's a 2-score game. You're getting big chunks. You're moving the sticks. You're just fine. If you can sustain this, take care of the ball, I think you'll like where you'll be at the end of this drive. And then it's on to the defense. You got to answer.
1st and 10. Miller, step up and take off and run past the pass rush. Now going to kick it to the outside. He's got the 40 and ducks out of bounds just shy of the 35-yard line. Great scramble drill there. The pass rush got too far upfield, and Miller took off and ran.
Yeah, what a great job by a younger guy. Did you like that? I didn't call him a freshman. That
Yes.
He just a great job protecting himself and putting his team in a great position. That's great work. The O-line did their job just enough to let an athlete cook, and sometimes that's the whole name of the play.
Yeah, you can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah.
So fresh set of downs here for the Miners. Got out of bounds as well to stop the clock with 1:12 to go here in the 3rd.
Look at the size of that slot. That's awesome. Motion with Miles here. Oh, snap got bobbled, but Coop's going to get just a little teeny out of it. I don't think it was a loss. Oh, actually, pretty much no gain.
And that big mammoth in the slot you were alluding to was Gus Scott.
That was Gus, yeah.
6'3", 225, and a junior.
It's a big kid.
I mean, geez, if worst comes to worst, I'd put him in the backfield. Just
Yeah, have that slot crack block and run his way, man. Even if he misses, he got in the way. I think the Miners got away with one there as Miles went in motion, angled pretty hard forward toward that line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. But like I said earlier, I think the Knights got away with one too. So all is fair. Good protection here. Coop sees something, gets rid of it with Tyson Charlie on it, but great pass and catch by Julian Davis, who's getting going a little bit here. Last drive and this drive, and that you're going to need that from an all-state caliber athlete to help lead the charge.
yeah, nice pitch and catch there. A gain of 6 to make it 3rd and 4 for the Miners here. 45 seconds and rolling here in the 3rd quarter of action, and a 46-30 lead for Lakeside. But Wallace on the move again.
Pretty cool dynamic to see Cooper run over to his offensive coordinator, who happens to be his father.
Yeah.
They talk about plays. I wonder how, boy, my son would sure tell me, no, Dad, I'm throwing deep every stinking play.
3rd and 4. Miller out of the gun.
Ritchie in the backfield, leading the way on a QB design run, but great job backside the end. Moffitt coming hot. Stayed, actually very well disciplined play for a D end. He actually contained he closed and took such a great angle that Coop just couldn't get through that left side A-gap before the backside DN swallowed him up. Great job by Moffitt.
Loss of a yard. Julian Moffitt has been a problem tonight for that Wallace O-line, no doubt about it. And the Lakeside Knights are a quarter away from the North Star League championship and a first-round bye in the 1A postseason. And for the Wallace Miners, their season potentially on the line. Can they rally back? We will find out when the fourth quarter begins right after this. You're watching North Idaho Game Night presented by P1FCU on IdahoSports.com.
P1FCU has been serving Vandals across the Northwest for decades. Now, we're investing even more in Idaho students. We are helping make the Beams Financial Literacy Program available to all students and providing student athletes access to money management support through Elevate Idaho. Without our members, we couldn't impact these students' financial wellness. Become a member and get your exclusive Vandal debit card to help support Vandal Nation. Visit p1fcu.org/govandals to learn more.
This year.
Welcome back to Sather Field. Brandon Bainey with Stetson Spooner. We missed the first play of the fourth quarter. That's my bad. See, that was a rookie mistake on my part.
No worries. There's some laundry in the middle of the field. The refs were talking.
It was an incomplete pass. They were trying to go to Emmett Miles on an out route there, or Miles Emmett, excuse me, on an out route, and couldn't quite hit him. And not only that, incomplete pass, but it is a holding call as well. Lakeside's going to decline it, and they will take over on downs. That was fourth down for the Miners.
Man.
Tough one.
Yeah, it was, yep. That's a tough one. Looked like maybe, again, a flat route, maybe pushed a little deep. And what that causes is accidental underthrows by the QB, which isn't really the QB's fault. He expects a route to be at a certain depth, and that's a bummer. But when you have a step on a guy, like I said, it's hard not to gain ground on that. Tyson gets it. Looks like he missed an intentional handoff. Now it's turned into a broken play, and Tyson loses the ball.
Did Wallace jump back on top of that?
Tyson gets up quick and hands the ball to the official.
Wow.
Man.
That got stripped out.
That would have been massive for the Miners. Not only is Tyson good when it's going good, ball's on the ground, he's the guy that goes down and gets it.
Hey, sometimes it's your night.
That would be opposite of Cam Newton in that Super Bowl, right? It wasn't the famous play against Denver. He didn't go after the fumble.
Yes.
And I don't know. Maybe he saw something we didn't know, thought it was going to squirt out of the back of the pile, and he's going to pick it up then. I don't know.
Not good.
I am in no way questioning if Cam Newton's a fantastic athlete or not.
Well, he's not in the league anymore, despite being an age where you could still play.
Yeah, right. So he's basically just as good as us at that point, I think. Brandon.
2nd and 25.
Airs it out, has a guy. Oh, wonder if the lights didn't get in somebody's eyes there.
Yeah, he was going for Preston Spotted Horse down that sideline, and Spotted Horse turned to the right. The ball came to the left. He pivoted back, but it was too late.
It looked like a pretty decent ball. Tell you what, Tyson doesn't throw a bad deep ball at all. Just didn't capitalize on that one.
So 46-30, Lakeside with a 2-score lead here. 10:59 to play in the fourth. Facing a third down and about 20.
You know, gut check time for both teams, really. See a lot of guys starting to grab some thighs and grab some elbows and some fingers. It's getting a little colder out, and a whole season of taking bumps and bruises starts to add up. Good effort there on the backside. Nice job by Reese. That was a great job.
Reese Williams comes through with the sack, and he's been shaken off a couple of times by Charlie tonight. So for Reese Williams, a humongous sack, and it's now 4th and almost 40 for Lakeside.
Yeah, outstanding job by the Miners D-line there. Flood off this side defensive end. Kind of a smaller stature guy, but got a big heart for sure. He actually caused Tyson to just hold up for a second, and Reese got free on the backside, much like Moffitt's sack earlier when he tracked down Cooper Miller there from the backside. Great effort.
So 4th and 40. I don't even know what you dial up in the playbook here.
Tyson Charlie with the ball. That would be a play call. I would call it A1. Oh, it looks like he's their punter too. Little rugby-style punt. Good idea. Good idea.
And for Wallace, nobody back deep, but because Lakeside was so far back. And again, Lakeside trying to blow it a little further off. Oh, that's the second time he's done that tonight. Josiah Dole. Hey, you got to give him some style points on that.
Yeah, you can. One thing you can expect with Lakeside players is they are real good kids with sense of humors that are pretty fresh. And as a coach, you enjoy that sometimes, and they end up building a pretty good friendship with a lot of players that they compete with at these other schools. They got a lot of swag.
Yeah, no doubt. So Wallace gets a huge stop that they needed.
Big one, yeah.
This drive will start at their own 49-yard line, so basically midfield here. There's 9:57 to play. The Miners are down by 2 scores, 46-30.
10 minutes in 8-man football? It's an eternity.
And again, the winner of this game wins the North Star League Championship. The loser probably misses out on the playoffs. They'll start with a handoff to Holbert here.
Oh, Moffitt again off that edge. He is he's finding his niche right in the right spot, right time of this game. He's playing.
Julian Moffitt started it. Lane Morris finished it.
Yeah, he's pumped up too. Moffitt gave a little gorilla crawl there, some chest beats to his sideline, getting his guys fired up. That's great.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 12 here for the Miners after a loss of 2. 9:25 and counting in this ball game.
Got big. I said Gus was a big slot earlier. He's even bigger as an X or a Y out here on the edge.
Miller out of the gun on 2nd and 12.
Good snap. Oh, Moffitt got pinned in there. Great block on the edge, but nowhere to go as number 5 in the Knights secondary comes up fast. Good angle and good closing speed. Left nowhere to go.
Josiah Dole closed that door pretty quickly for Lakeside that time, and Miller loses 2 more yards. It's 3rd and 14 now.
Man, good play by Dole. That, with the way the end got crushed in there, unless it was designed for the end to slant in and the defensive back to kind of take that contain edge, but I don't think it was. I think it was read and react by number 5, Dole, and that was a pretty impressive play. They got Davis out here in this Twins right here with Tyson Charlie's out there, but a little give and go.
Miller looking deep
for Miles, just barely overthrown.
Looking for Miles Emmett, but again overshoots him, and they've just been a little bit off tonight on those deep shots.
Yeah, Miles is he's getting free enough. It's just, man, it's just not linking up perfect. I'll tell you what, Julian Davis ran a fake little bubble hitch, about a 1-yard hitch, and then took off, and actually back behind Emmett Miles would have been Julian kind of wide open at about a 10 to 12-yard strike rather than the 25-yarder tried to Emmett. But I wasn't paying attention to the passing pocket, and it could have been closing in on Cooper, so he had to make a decision. I wasn't watching that part.
4th and 14 for the Miners.
Lakeside bringing 3, and Moffitt, almost got home, but Coop's feet's going to keep him alive here.
Now he's going to try and take off and run, but that is a
tough. Going to get that first down.
Wow.
And more. Great job. Really turned on the Jets there.
I got to be honest. He was met basically chest on chest by John Wilson at the line of scrimmage. And I thought, there's no way he's getting this first down. But you saw the speed by Miller once he hit that corner.
Yeah, that's that lateral quickness. And boy, I thought Moffitt had him dead to rights. But Coop can feel that. He's got pocket presence. And when that collapses, he's got a lot of talent to get out there and make some plays happen. Much like his counterpart here tonight in Tyson Charlie. Just kind of the freshman version.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, what an impressive showing. Miller on 1st and 10.
Let go. Oh.
And there's just been no separation tonight between Julian Davis and Tyson Charlie. He's been in his hip pocket all night. I wonder, and I'd have to wait till basketball season to find out, but do these guys guard each other when they play?
Oh, boy, you'd imagine. but I got to tell you, Lakeside is about as deep as the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to a basketball court. I mean, they put their second unit out there when Coach Two Teeth drumming you, and it seems to just get worse, even with the bed. It's almost like Jimmy Johnson at the University of Miami holding his hands up to coaches saying, well, it's not my fault you can't stop our twos. I mean, they're so disciplined and so talented in basketball. That
2nd and 10.
Lakeside
Miller
bringing 3. Moffitt putting pressure on again. Hey, there's a strike. And he's in. Did he get flipped in?
Yes, he
did. He did. Emmett Miles, we said it was like Novocaine. Give it time and it might work. And what a play that Wallace needed right at the right time.
Miller. It's Emmett Miles.
It's one of those things where, what's the definition of insanity? you keep it. I mean, poor Emmett Miles and Cooper's hookup tonight just wasn't working, and they stayed with it. And it's insane until it works. Then it just looks like a good coaching call from Coach Miller and a good passing catch by Emmett and Cooper.
8:06 to play. Wallace needs this 2-point conversion to make it a one-score game. Miller to the end zone. Scott, did he make the catch?
Big Gus got it.
Oh, Gus Scott, 4th 2-point catch of the night.
Be like if Eddie Lacy played receiver, man. That's a big dude. Big dude. Way to have some athleticism for the big guy and go get that ball. That just made this game a whole lot more exciting as we got a one score.
8:06 to play, and it's 46-38. The Lakeside lead has been whittled down to 1 thanks to the 45-yard touchdown pass from Cooper Miller to Emmett Miles. You know, we were talking hoops, Stetson, just to wrap up that thought because it was in my head. Wallace in their season opener last year, so Coach Jared Young, the football coach, he's also the boys basketball coach at Wallace, and he sent me a text last year after their first game of the season. Julian Davis, I think he scored 38 points. It was like 38 points and like 21 rebounds. He had double-double, but just insane.
Against us, he almost had a triple-double with 10 dunks on fast breaks. And he throws down pretty easily. I think our kids defensively at Mullen last year were letting him get fast breaks because they liked the look of him dunking. It was, wow, Julian, he's such a nice kid. You can't, trust me, he's an unhateable figure in our community here in the Silver Valley. Julian's a coach's dream, and I'm sure a teammate's dream as well. He's a very, very nice young man and has all the talent in the world. Oh, no, picked up on the bounce. Wow. Grabbed another 10 yards off that. Wow, heads-up play by Moffitt, my man. I like that kid. He's tough.
Yeah, Jarius John Moffitt. Yeah. Onside kick goes right to him, and he gets a good return out to the Wallace 40-yard line. So, okay, Wallace has cut it to a score here, 8:02 to go, but they got to put the clamps down defensively and shut out this Lakeside offense.
Yeah, now it is get a stop time more than ever. They've done it when they had to, but now it's more of a have to, for sure.
And that's always easier said than done.
Yeah, what did we say, though? 940 was an eternity, I had said, for an 8-man game. And we're still in the 8s?
Yeah.
Man, just shows you how 8-man football can fly by or drag on. It looks like Lakeside being a little more careful with the clock here. Great job defensively there by, I think it was Davis. Julian coming in, making a good play with Wyatt Ritchie.
And I think after Lakeside nearly fumbled on that last possession and Tyson Charlie was just able to fall back on top of it, I'm sure ball security was something that was stressed in the huddle.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that getting rid of that clock was on Coach McGee and his staff's mind. Last drive, it didn't look that way. Or this time, tight-eye, double tight, more of an inside run-looking scheme. Be careful on that naked bootleg with Tyson Charlie, though. If you focus too much on those A-gaps. It's a great job. Great job, good football there. Burns a little clock for the Knights. Yep. Good gang tackling by a bunch of black jerseys from the Miners.
Yep, that's Halapione on the carry for Lakeside, and that was Marley on the tackle for Wallace, Marley Pierce. And it's 3rd down and 6. 6:55 to play. Yeah, when we did the first game of the year, Lakeside and Court of Christ here on IdahoSports.com, Lakeside ran pretty much everything out of that double tight I formation. You can tell as the season's gone along and players have learned more concepts and incorporated more.
Like right here, this wide double split sets and stuff like that. That's awesome. Wallace bringing at least 4 here. I want to see how this 3-man O-line keeps Tyson hot. Yeah.
Over the middle, it hit his offensive lineman, Elijah Sifford, in the back plate. Incomplete, 4th down.
It was almost such a fast slant throw that it acted almost as a screen. The linemen were already going to run up field on that. It was almost like I almost want to say designed.
Yeah, Elijah Sifford was like running like he was in the pattern.
Absolutely. What a huge 4th down here for the Knights, and equally or greater on the huge factor scale for the Miners. They get a stop. This is a heck of a football game.
So Lakeside trying to convert here on 4th and 6.
But are Tyson's legs going to kill you out of this spread?
6.5 to play.
Outside.
He's going to throw it.
Got a man short. What a big play for the Miners and a turnover on downs in the – we are just at 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes here. Wow.
They were trying to go to Jalapeon. Charlie on the rollout felt the heat and rushed the throw. It was low and incomplete. Wallace gets the turnover on downs, down by 8, 46-38, 6:23 to play, and the Miners have the ball back, 1st and 10 at their own 35.
Man, what a defensive stand. What a good job by that play side D end that looked like Tyson was going to get outside and do his thing, and he adjusted his angle and made Tyson think again. And that, if Wallace ends up winning this game, that play right there may be as important as any. Wallace coming out in a heavy set. Might try to soften up the middle of this defense just a little. No, Coop's on a keeper and has a lead block. Is going to, great job by the Knights. Great lateral quickness and angles by the Knights there to run Miller out of bounds, but a good gain.
That was John Wilson forcing Miller out at the 40-yard line. 5-yard scamper there on 1st down. It's 2nd down and 5 here for Wallace. Ball is at the 46-yard line. Clock did stop as Miller got out of bounds with 6:17 to play.
Oh, with 6 yards a pop, do you take that shot or do you enjoy the 6 yards a pop if you can keep getting it? That's a coaching conundrum.
I think you just take the 6 yards.
Yeah, right? But the clock is not on the Miners' side as far as you don't want the thing to run out. Great job moving the sticks there. I think got it by about a yard. Awesome work.
And that was Wyatt Ritchie, the fullback.
I like the way he runs the ball, kind of the 2 arms on it hug. You will not rip this from me.
And he stays low.
Yeah, he does.
Real low.
He does. He runs at about 5'2", and he's definitely not 5'2". That's good.
1st and 10 for the Miners from their own 46-yard line. We're down to 5:50 to play. The Miners trailing by 8 here in the North Star League championship game.
Tight, heavy set again here. And Garrett Clark and those boys leading the way up front. Naked bootleg to Coop, and he's got the edge. I think Tyson Charlie runs him down there, gets him out of bounds. What an effort by Cooper Miller. Keeps himself safe real well. So, well beyond his years with the cerebral part of the game, it looks like.
So Miller ducks out of bounds at the 34-yard line of the Lakeside Knights. Clock stops at 5:36 to play. 46-38. Lakeside lead is 8. But Cooper Miller picks up another key 1st down there for the Miners. And again, the implications, the winner of this game wins the North Star League. 1st round bye in next week's playoffs. The loser of this game has about a 10% chance of getting in as an at-large team. So more than likely for the loser, their season is over.
You know what, I wish whoever runs Max Preps could see both these teams play tonight, because I think whoever loses, they would have a lot of admiration for and bump them up. It's a good football game with a lot of talent.
Straight up the middle, Wyatt Ritchie.
Boy, offensively, unless it's an incomplete pass, that seemed like an unsuccessful play tonight, and that's a 3-yard run up the gut. A lot of coaches would be very happy with that on 1st down. That's kind of what this game's been. Big shots and great sustained drives, couple turnovers here and there, but other than that, a pretty clean game with 2 good teams. Again, Max Preps, let both these guys in. You're crazy if you don't.
It's going to be 2nd and 8. I couldn't have said it any better. 2nd and 8. They'll give to Holbert, and Holbert lassoed down.
What a play by 55 for the Knights.
That is Dylan Brown, the big nose.
Boy, that was a great play. Good for a nose, too. Worked lateral real well and fast. Ended up finding his butt planted right in that gap and made the most of it defensively for the Knights.
Yeah, he's a stout nose, 5'8", 215 pounds.
Yeah, that's a dude. That's a dude. If the Knights D-line could get a second wind here and make things hard on the Miners, that would make this interesting. Got a play action here. Got Davis.
And he's got it inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line on 3rd and 9. Miller hits Julian Davis on the out route to move the sticks.
You've been wondering, is Tyson going to run out of gas or be focused maybe on keeping him out of the end zone and on the next offensive series? But whatever happened there, Julian Davis got about a 5-yard buffer zone on Tyson Charlie that hasn't been there all game until that exact play. Couldn't have happened at a better time for the Miners. They go back to a heavy set here.
1st and 10 from the 16-yard line, 4 minutes to play. Holbert gets the call again and bangs forward for a gain of about 3.
Following Big Gus, the wideout.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, man, Garrett Clark in the middle there at center has had a really, really nice football game. I would be interested to see what Wallace is averaging between the tackles tonight running the ball. Down Grubbs, their starting running back. They've done a pretty good job tonight moving the ball inside the tackles.
Meanwhile, Ashton Holbert, who's been the power back tonight for the Miners, limping off after that last play. So it's going to be Wyatt Ritchie and Big Tommy Werfel, the D tackle in there at fullback. This is a real power I formation now.
And a naked bootleg to Coop again. And great job by number 3 running him out, but Coop moved the sticks.
Got it up for the first down. Preston Spotted Horse is the guy who eventually forces him out for Lakeside, but Miller scrambles and gets enough inside the 10, out of bounds around the 7.
Boy, this is as good as football gets right here. We had said that mid-40s knocking on the door of 50, man. We kind of nailed it. For you at home, we nailed it.
3:13 to play. 8-point Lakeside lead, but it's first and goal for Wallace from the 7.
Sticking to the heavy set.
Miller.
Giving it to Ritchie up the, good wrap up. That was awesome. Great job by that linebacker. 25 coming up and playing some ball.
That's John Wilson. He's been busy tonight on that Lakeside defense.
Yeah, came up and just, when you talk about putting a hat on somebody or a chest, he put both. That was great. Again, not a big guy. Lakeside just kind of has these athletes.
Well, and we think about athletes and we think about their basketball skills.
Yeah.
And we think more finesse, but these guys are tough.
Yeah, these guys. And when you sprinkle a couple Moffats in there, you got some tough dudes.
Second and goal from the 6. It was a 1-yard gain for Ritchie. We're down to 2.5 minutes to play. Wallace down 8, trying to tie up this North Star championship.
Spreading it out for the first time on this drive and taking a shot.
Trying to go to Scott, the tight end. Never got the separation. It's third and goal from the 6 now.
I think Gus is more of a go route guy, a little Randy Moss. Take the top off of cover 3. I could get such a kick being a big guy, watching this big dude out here, mixing it up with those skill position players pretty dang well.
And I know we keep talking about basketball. For him, I kind of think of the Antonio Gates. Get to the end zone and post up.
Absolutely.
Box your guy out.
That Jimmy Graham feel, yeah.
Third and goal from the 6 for Wallace. Down 8, 2:22 to play. Trying to win the North Star League, or at least tie this up.
Tight slot offset look and gives Coop the edge. He's in. He's in. What a run. What a play. Look, tight, just the slots were real tight right off the ball, and what that does is it'll give you an angle at those defensive ends and instantly give you the edge. And in a defensive scheme, you think, well, it's only for about 3 yards. Well, when it's 3 or 4 yards to the end zone, those types of plays can really help out.
Cooper Miller from 6 yards out on third and goal with 2:16 to play has brought the Wallace Miners to within 2. They have to get the 2-point conversion here. This is such a pivotal play, Stetson. They're going to call a timeout and talk about it.
Man, other than the annexation of Puerto Rico, I don't know what you run here.
I think, man, this is tough. It's at the 2. So I feel like you've got to line up in that power I. And do you trust your guys up front to get 2 yards? Now, complicating things is Ashton Holbert, who's kind of been the power back tonight. He is going back into the huddle right now. He had left and was limping off, but he is back in that huddle right now.
Yeah, and he's without a limp on his trot in there. Do you, boy, is there, I'm not saying tush push, but is there a way to pull to the play side and have 2 running backs, Ritchie and Holbert, lead the way for Cooper Miller?
It's a good idea.
Hit a B gap on maybe the D end other than the Moffitt kid, because he's an animal. But boy, I don't know. Do you base it off where Tyson Charlie's standing? If he's pressing up looking for a blitz, I don't know. But I would sure like the ball with Cooper Miller and 2 horses in front of him, going to some sort of pin and pull kick technique that might give you just enough for 2 yards.
I mean, this will sound counterintuitive, but we've had a couple of penalties where the 2-point conversion tonight has been from the 7.
Yeah.
I think it sets up better from the 7. You've got more space. You've got more space to work with.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Because Lakeside, yeah, they're definitely not going to be at their standard depth at that second level. In fact, it looks like they're just engaging 8 right now.
Power I.
Yeah.
Miller under center. Richie the fullback.
They're going play action. They got a guy. It's Julian Davis. Quiet all game until you need an all-state stud, and he shows up. What a great cerebral play by Cooper Miller. Great route by Julian. Great time to show up, and a heck of a play call from the Miners coaching staff. Great work.
And with 2:16 to play in the fourth quarter, we are tied at 46 all as Cooper Miller on a rollout hits Julian Davis for the 2-point conversion.
Boy, I got nothing to do tomorrow, so if this wants to go overtime for a few rounds, I'm totally game.
Well, now here's the thing. There's still 2:16 on the clock. That is a lifetime for this Lakeside offense.
And with the ball in a Tyson Charlie's hands, and he's been quiet for a drive or two here, I wouldn't be surprised.
This is what championship dreams are made of.
And Wallace has answered that call offensively more than defensively today. But if they can answer it on the defensive side of the ball here, this is going to make a league championship game very interesting.
Rossi Corsick to kick off here for Wallace. And all night it has been squibbers and short stuff. Do you kick it deep? We'll see. Tyson Charlie is right in the middle there along with Jarius Cy John Moffitt. It is an onside kick again. Bobbled for a moment, recovered by Lane Morris at the 40-yard line. So Lakeside is 60 yards away from retaking the lead with 2:14 on the clock to work with.
What an unfair place for the football gods to put Lane Morris in as a lineman, but great job by that kid. I would be getting on that ball and protecting it like a mother eagle on a nest, just like he did, to not, number one, get yelled at by my coach, and number two, look like a potential hero keeping that squib kick under wraps here on Idaho Sports.
And I feel like a lot of the games statewide had to have wrapped up. I feel like we're the only show in town. This is
yeah, we could still go to extras. This is great.
8-man football after dark.
Thanks for inviting me, man.
Of course.
Tyson drops back. Oh, keep going, Flood. Oh, with a huge interception. And he's got an angle. He's going to 6 this.
Julian Davis
takes it in on a pick 6, and now we've got a penalty coming. Or should. That was pretty late.
Unbelievable. With 2:01 to play, Tyson Charlie floats it over the middle, and Julian Davis snipes it out of the air and returns it 55 yards for a pick 6.
Boy, the Knights are lucky there, getting away with one. A little frustration from one of the Knights. Kind of trying to toss Julian real late, but boy, on a kickoff, that could be an ensuing problem. But again, I love that the refs are letting them play a little bit, by the way. I don't mean to sound complainy.
No. You're good.
I'm definitely not from the 60s watching Stallworth catch balls from Bradshaw, but at the same time, I like when they play. What a play.
Unreal.
And people might have thought it was nuts calling Davis an all-state athlete all night. But when he shows up, man, I'm telling you, there's nobody better on a field than that kid. Is that Big Gus?
It is.
I love that kid. Man, I just became a fan of Gus big time tonight here in Silverton. That kid has made me a believer.
In the span of 20 seconds, Wallace went from down 8 to up 8. A swing of 16 points as, again, down 46 to 38. Cooper Miller scores on a 6-yard touchdown run, gets the 2-point conversion pass to Julian Davis. That tied it at 46 all. They kick off to Lakeside on Lakeside's first play from scrimmage. Tyson Charlie throws an interception to Julian Davis that is returned 55 yards for a pick 6. And then Cooper Miller hits Gus Scott on the fade for the 2-point conversion. And with 2:01 to go, Wallace back in front for the first time in a long time, 54-46.
Man, the way this game's gone, I would not be surprised if another big play happens shortly.
And for those that were wondering earlier, I said 8-man football after dark. That's in reference to the old Pac-12, right? Pac-12 after dark. There's other things after dark on that were.
Oh, no.
And this onside kick doesn't go 10 yards. That's going to be a procedural penalty.
It didn't go out of bounds, and I'm a football coach. I should know the rule. Do they get to take that where it was recovered by Wallace?
Yes.
Oof, rough.
That happened earlier tonight.
Yeah, you're
Wallace.
right. You're right. And on the out of bounds. Yeah, you're right.
So 2 minutes to go. Lakeside's going to have it 1st and 10 at the Wallace 43-yard line.
Brutal.
Now, something to bring up here. Lakeside's done a nice job on offense tonight. The one area they've struggled a little bit are the conversions.
Yeah, that's true. And right now an 8-point lead is worth its weight in gold. Man.
It is a shame that one of these teams, more likely than not, is not going to make the playoffs. And now a flag comes out, illegal substitution on Lakeside.
4-6-8, yeah, it is. Oof.
Jarius Side John Moffitt went sprinting off to the sideline, and now it'll be 1st and 15 from the Wallace 48.
Pretty much at midfield here. Oh, what a time to have one of those penalties. Rough.
That's a tough one for sure. Well, this North Star Championship has been everything we could have asked for and more.
Wondering if one of these DNs, Flood or Reese, can't get their hands on Tyson, because if Charlie gets out of the pocket, this could be a pretty big drive for him. We know what he's capable of. We've watched it about, 4 or 5 times tonight.
And now what do we have? A delay of game against Lakeside.
Man! Oh, a couple shots to the feet here.
That just can't happen.
Oh, you can't have that, man. And to me, boy, I got to tell you, it didn't feel that long.
No.
But, I'm not the one counting. I can hardly swing this camera the right way.
Hey, what a season debut. What a broadcast debut, Stetson.
Yeah, you set me up for this when you knew this game was going to be a barn burner.
So now it's 1st and 20 for Lakeside. Ball is back at their own 47. Charlie, back to pass, has time, going deep. Has a man, it is Pion, incomplete. Got to go to Jalapeno down that far sideline. Miles was in coverage.
Great job by Cooper Miller there playing.
Yeah, Miller, excuse me.
Yeah, haven't mentioned him on the defensive side of the ball much, but really in the pocket there. Made a really tight, tough window for Tyson to throw to. Still a catchable ball. Tyson throws about as good a ball as he runs with his feet, which is pretty outstanding. Great job by Coop, though, keeping things in front of him. Kind of almost looks like balls thrown over to that area. Maybe kind of hard to see. I'm wondering if it's not a position of that far light.
2nd and 20 now for the Knights.
Man.
Charlie back to pass again.
Flood's bearing down on him. Hit the brakes. Oh, what a catch by 16. Pion. Yeah. Oh, ball's on the ground. Did they blow him dead with forward progress? I heard a whistle.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's Jalapeno for a gain of 10 to make it 3rd and 10. Ball came out at the very end, but he had already been blown dead by the official.
Man, what a catch by Pion. Shades of his coach, Coach McGee. Right across the middle, selling out with his body. Could take a big shot, you never know, and he reaches out and makes that play anyway. Huge for the Knights, getting them back to 3rd and manageable.
So 3rd and 9 now for Lakeside. We're down to 1:13 to play. Charlie, flag comes out in trouble and throws it out of bounds.
I think we had a jersey pull here on the O-line.
And Charlie just threw it out of bounds, had nobody to go to, and it is a penalty.
Oh.
So Lakeside had played a pretty clean game tonight, Stetson, on this drive alone.
Absolutely.
With their season on the line. That is now the 3rd penalty.
Yeah.
They've had more penalties than plays from scrimmage.
And that call was not a hold. I'm wondering if it wasn't a high-low. It was a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, illegal block.
I'm thinking somebody was hitting high, and boy, that stinks for an O-line. Sometimes you may accidentally fall into a guy's knees, but to a referee, and I don't know what happened, but it could just be a guy really battling and working his butt off and hits a guy lower than he should while he's getting hit up top. It's nothing dirty. It just happens when you're laying it all out there.
So now it's 3rd down and about 25 here. Charlie back to pass.
Here's what you don't want. Hey, great tackle in the open field, though. What we haven't seen on Charlie tonight yet I'll tell you what, man, the Miners resilient, stepping up when they should.
And who made the tackle? Julian Davis.
I'm telling you, that
getting a little
kid.
Revenge after Charlie's been on him all night. When Davis has been on offense, he returns the favor.
I'm telling you, it seemed like when Tyson took one breather on defense, Julian went off a little bit, ended up scoring a touchdown, getting 2 catches against whoever the backup was to Tyson. And since then, Julian has got a spark of confidence, or, drank the magic juice. Something's going on with Davis, but he's showing up like an all-state athlete.
Timeout Lakeside here with 53 seconds to go. Wow. Our game reset. 53 seconds to play, 54-46. Wallace leads by 8. Lakeside is facing a 4th down and 16 with the ball right at the 50-yard line. They've got to get to the 34 of Wallace to pick up the first down. Each side has 2 timeouts remaining. And the North Star League Championship on the line. The winner of this game wins the league, gets a first-round bye in the opening round of the 1A playoffs next week. For the loser, their season most likely comes to an end. There's an outside shot they could get the final at-large berth into the state playoffs. It's based upon Max Prep's rankings, though. And you don't want to leave it up to the Max Prep's gods. Out of the timeout, season on the line potentially here for Lakeside. 4th and 16. Can Tyson Charlie pull a rabbit out of the hat one more time?
Pre-snap motion. Oh, Coach Jesse Allen texted. He's interested in this game.
Another procedural penalty.
Oh, no.
Illegal shift or a false start, whatever you want to. But 4th down and 21 now with the ball back at the Lakeside 46-yard line.
Yeah, I think the backfield player started to shuffle his feet while that pre-snap motion was moving. And that pre-snap motion isn't going to come to a full second stop, so that's a problem.
Charlie's got to get.
Got some time.
26.
Letting it go.
Overthrows his man. Flag comes out for pass interference on Cooper Miller, though. He was
on his back. I couldn't tell if he grabbed anything, but there was a little contact there. Can't argue that one too hard.
And that is the tough part about that was they were going for Jalapeno deep. The ball was overthrown a little bit. I don't know if Pion is going to have a shot at making the grab anyways, but there's no doubt Cooper Miller did make contact on the back end there. And the referee, you saw it. He hesitated. He was thinking it through in his head, and then he threw the flag.
I think he was judging the distance of that ball and realizing, it was kind of close. Now, this isn't the NFL, folks, so it's not going to be an automatic first down or at the spot of the foul. So it does bring it into 4th, and with Tyson Charlie's legs, definitely manageable.
Yeah, 15-yard penalty now. It's 4th down and 7.
This D-line, what a time to make a play.
Charlie can get 7 in his sleep. Only 47 seconds left on 4th and 7 following the pass interference. Charlie, play breaks down, will take off and run. He's got it.
He's got the sticks.
Charlie stretches forward and will have the first down out of bounds around the 25-yard line with 37 seconds to go. Officially marked out at the 26.
Coach Allen, if you're listening, text me what you would do. Let me guess. Blitz. Send heat.
There's just, no matter what you try to do, Tyson Charlie is just able to shake it off. And now a fresh set of downs for Lakeside. They faced a 4th and 26 and got the pass interference penalty to make it 4th and 7. Got the first down. 1st and 10 from the Wallace 26. 37 seconds to go. Lakeside down 8 here in the North Star District Championship.
Outside receiver, about 20 yards of space, but great job, D-line. Wrap up. Oh, boy.
Charlie.
That's a wrap up.
Cannot escape the sack of Reese Williams. Back at the 40-yard line.
Clock moving, or did they call a
timeout?
Okay.
Lakeside gets the timeout here with 23 seconds to go. And boy, initially I think it was Cameron Flood. The first defensive end couldn't get there, and then as Charlie peeled back the other way, Reese Williams, the other bookend, was there. Second sack of the night for Reese Williams.
Yeah, he's, again, a young guy. That's the coolest part, is in these moments, a senior, stud, Julian Davis, coming alive, you go, okay, yeah. Or even a junior, a Tyson Charlie, you're like, heck yeah. But for a sophomore to come up with big plays like that, and juice the team up and get everybody excited and send the stadium into a frenzy, that's pretty cool for the future and for tonight.
I mean, you couldn't have asked for from both teams tonight, Wallace and Lakeside. If you're both head coaches, Jared Young for Wallace, Jerry Louie McGee for Lakeside, you couldn't ask for anything more from your players tonight. They have left it all out on the line. It is going to be second down and approximately 22. Ball's going to be back at the 40-yard line here. And now Lakeside only has one timeout remaining, 27 seconds to go, trailing 54-46.
So here we are. If the game was to end when we said it ended, Tyson Charlie's the player of the game. Then we were thinking if he's not, and they win, Cooper Miller is Julian Davis at this time. We're going to have a pretty that cut and dry decision might be quite the heated debate. All right, got a clean pocket. Oh, here comes Flood. Oh, rough angle there. That's just Tyson making a play.
Charlie down to 18 seconds to the end zone. It is through a sea of hands and incomplete. Halapione and Preston Spotted Horse were both there, but so were Strange and Miller for Wallace. And it is third down and 26 now from the 40 with 14 seconds to go.
Man, third and a mile. Great job by Cooper there, staying off. And actually a really good route by number 3. He got downfield in a hurry, came back to help Tyson, turned around and went back as Tyson extended that play. Great job there.
Yeah, that was Preston Spotted Horse.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like if Halapione isn't also there for Lakeside and that other defender isn't there, I feel like Spotted Horse has a decent chance to come back and make a play on that.
Another one of those weird instances tonight where we've seen multiple times, whether it's a flat route falling a little too deep, a little bit selfish on the route, where two guys aren't ending up in the same spot, dragging another unnecessary defender over there. Little deep cover 2 here with a guy sitting kind of shallow middle for the Miners. Tyson's got time. Lets it go. And it's picked by Julian Davis. And it is clean, no yellow. That is your football game, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we got a flag over here.
Wait a minute. Flag came out at the end, depending on which side it's on.
Yeah.
Could be an untimed down, but Wallace takes over regardless. And the Wallace Miners, against all odds, they were down 3 scores at multiple times tonight. They were down 2 scores most of the second half. A rally for the ages. And with 0.6 of a second left, a 54-46 victory for the Wallace Miners.
Boy, wow. I couldn't hate to do this to a great young man, and we've called him a freshman all night, Cooper Miller, but just to let you know, our after post game, my vote's going to be Julian Davis. I mean,
2 picks.
1 quarter of outstanding all-state football is better than 3 quarters of mediocre stuff, I guess. Not that Cooper Miller was mediocre. He took the reins and had great leadership tonight. And offensively, Cooper definitely led the charge. But these defensive plays in the 4th quarter that Julian Davis is making is really the deciding factor of this district championship at this point.
And I never did see what the penalty flag was. There was some chirping going on.
Is the clock over?
Nope, 0.6 of a second left.
They are. They're calling it.
Calling it. Okay.
They're calling it.
Wallace wins the North Star League and will move on to the 1A postseason.
Wow.
And now, for the 2nd year in a row, the Lakeside Knights in their regular season finale let opportunity slip through their fingertips. Last year, they didn't have the opportunity to earn an at-large spot to the playoffs. This year they do. They will be sitting with bated breath on Selection Sunday to see if that final playoff spot will go to the Cascade Ramblers, or do the Lakeside Knights have enough in the Max Preps algorithm to squeeze out a second playoff spot from this North Star League?
Well, if I'm a Max Preps employee or whoever's on that committee, I urge you to take a giant look at this game film and take a look at what the Lakeside Knights are, because they're a good football team, and they did a dang good job.
And if we zoom in down there you can see they got the Gatorade bucket ready to go. I don't know if they're going to
hit Coach Young with this.
Yeah, let's see. Let's follow that.
Yeah, get right on it. Get ready, Coach Young. You're about to go swimming. Here they are. He's trying to move. Oh, they got him. Good.
What an incredible moment for the Wallace Miners. Coach Jared Young, Julian Davis, Cooper Miller, etc., etc. What a fantastic ball game tonight, Stetson.
Yeah,
Just
that's
incredible.
outstanding. And after a couple hard years for Wallace, just some numbers were down. Kind of like some other small schools deal with. They had some great basketball years where some of those athletes weren't exactly doing multiple sports. necessarily with football included. And what a great time for them. They put in a lot of hard work. A lot of these young guys have really led a charge. And it's great to see it pay it off for them tonight.
Wow. Wallace wins 54-46. The final, the Miners finished the regular season 8-1. Their only blemish was to Lakeside about a month ago in Worley. The Miners get revenge tonight. And again, it all swung, like you said, in that fourth quarter of action. Wallace was down by 8. Cooper Miller scores on a 6-yard touchdown run with 2:16 to play to tie it up. He gets the 2-point conversion pass to Julian Davis, and we were tied at 46-46. On the very next play from scrimmage, Lakeside, Tyson Charlie throws a pick over the middle. Julian Davis snares it, takes it 55 yards back for a pick 6. 2-point conversion pass to Gus Scott is good, 54-46. And then Wallace holds on at the very end on the final drive for the Lakeside Knights. I mean, just an incredible finish, Stetson.
Yeah, outstanding. I mean, it's always great to have good representation from the North. And me, selfishly, it's even better when it comes from the Silver Valley, which is where I live, whether that be Kellogg up in the 3 or 4A ranks, wherever they are now with all the classifications moving. And with Wallace or Mullins St. Regis those past couple years kind of taking the reins for the 8-man representation. That's great for our area, our community. And sometimes the Silver Valley as a community as a whole. Tonight's one of those nights. I'm pretty happy for the town down the road. That's very cool to represent our area in the state playoffs.
Yeah, pretty awesome, pretty epic. We will take a break for the post-game show. And Stetson, I might send you down there to see if you can get Mr. Julian Davis maybe or Coach Young. Let's get a little post-game interview. I mean, this is a big moment for Wallace.
You want me to bring him up here? Or?
Yeah, bring him up to the booth, and we'll do a post-game interview.
Perfect. Yeah, we can't have that freshman kid. You got to give him some years.
Yeah, no, you got to earn that. Earn the IdahoSports.com.
The cool thing is Coop would laugh at that and he'd be
Yeah,
all for it. All right, I'll go see what I can do.
All right, thanks, Stetson. Appreciate it. Wow. Wallace wins by a final score of 54-46. We will be back to break it all down on the IdahoSports.com post-game show right after this break here on IdahoSports.com.
P1FCU has been serving Vandals across the Northwest for decades. Now, we're investing even more in Idaho students. We are helping make the Beams financial literacy program available to all students and providing student athletes access to money management support through Elevate Idaho. Without our members, we couldn't impact these students' financial wellness. Become a member and get your exclusive Vandal debit card to help support Vandal Nation. Visit p1fcu.org/govandals to learn more.
This year,
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
this year helped.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Welcome into the IdahoSports.com postgame show. The Wallace Miners win the North Star League 54-46, the final over the Lakeside Knights, and we are joined by our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, Julian Davis from the Wallace Miners. Congratulations on the win. First of all, how does it feel?
It feels great. I mean, our team went out there, we're putting in work every day, and it feels great. Get a win, especially against Lakeside. They're a good team.
Man, you guys, how good did it feel to get revenge after losing to Lakeside earlier this year at their place?
Oh, it felt great. Best feeling ever. Best game I've ever played. I liked it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
You took over and asserted yourself in that fourth quarter. You guys were down 2 scores, most of that second half. What was the message that the coaches were giving to you guys?
Our coaches told us to keep playing. We have a history of giving up. Last time we played them, they scored like 30 straight, and we started sleeping. We just kept the fire and kept going on.
So you scored the receiving touchdown in the fourth quarter, and then to bring you guys within one score, and then Cooper ties it up. And then the play of the game, I thought, was that pick six you got at midfield there on Tyson Charlie. What did you see as Charlie was getting ready to release that ball?
I seen him throwing. Our D-line was doing great all game. They were containing him, and he's kind of throwing off his back foot, it looked like. So I came up, knew he was going to throw it short, and it came right in my arms.
And then, I mean, you know what to do with the ball in your hands. Did you think you were going to house it when you got the pick?
I wanted to. I got scared because Charlie was right there. He's a big kid. I thought he was going to blow me up, but I think he thought I was out of bounds, and then I just stayed in somehow.
Yeah. And let's talk about it. When you were at wide receiver tonight, Charlie was pretty exclusively guarding you one-on-one. How did you view that matchup?
I think it was good. I was coming off an injury, so I was trying to just decoy it, but I started feeling good, and I went out there and played my game.
Yeah, that was the thing. We knew you were banged up a little bit, and so we thought, well, anything you get from Julian's going to be gravy. And then I all of a sudden, you're like Superman. You tore off the shirt, and you were wearing the cape in that fourth quarter. Yeah. It was just something you felt good and felt a little more explosive?
I just got that adrenaline and realized if I lost, it would have been my last game ever. So I was like, I got to go out there and play my heart out.
Yeah.
Last game.
So we were talking off camera. You said you tune into all the prep casts we do at IdahoSports.com.
Yeah.
Was that something you guys had discussed that, hey, we need to win this game to make the playoffs?
Oh, yeah. We knew we needed to win it, or else Garden Valley, I guess if they won big time, we could have had a chance at winning, but we knew we needed that one.
Yeah, you don't want to leave it up to Max Preps.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. All right, and then at the end there, you guys get the Gatorade bath on Coach Young, too. Take me through the technique there.
My Garrett, my center, he was like, if we win, we got to do a Gatorade bath. And I completely forgot about it. We win, he goes over, grabs it, and we all huddle around him, and we just run up to it. Felt great. Felt unreal.
That's awesome. Julian Davis, our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Congratulations. You guys probably are going to get a first-round bye, so rest up. We want to see you out there at 100% for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I'll do what I can.
All right. Appreciate it. Julian Davis from Wallace High School. Thanks for the time.
All right, thank you.
All right. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this break. You're watching the IdahoSports.com postgame show on IdahoSports.com.
P1FCU has been serving Vandals across the Northwest for decades. Now, we're investing even more in Idaho students. We are helping make the Beams financial literacy program available to all students and providing student athletes access to money management support through Elevate Idaho. Without our members, we couldn't impact these students' financial wellness. Become a member and get your exclusive Vandal debit card to help support Vandal Nation. Visit p1fcu.org/govandals to learn more.
Welcome back to the IdahoSports.com postgame show. One final time as the Wallace Miners defeat the Lakeside Knights 54-46. The final score. Wallace wins the North Star League, 7-1 record overall, 5-1 in league play this season. Moving on to the 2A playoffs. They're going to get a first-round bye, and then quarterfinal opponent to be determined for the Lakeside Knights, 6-2. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's a great season. They take second in the North Star League, and now the question is, Did the Lakeside Knights do enough this season to earn the final at-large bid to the 1A postseason? It's going to come down to Cascade, and they lost tonight to Garden Valley, 36-14. It's going to come down to either Cascade or Lakeside for that final playoff spot, and we won't know until those brackets drop on Sunday. But we certainly hope that the Lakeside Knights are in there competing because, man, they left it all out there tonight, and they led for most of this game. Probably 70% of the game, Lakeside had the lead, but Wallace made a comeback that was simply incredible, and congratulations to the Miners. And again, officially, our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game, whether you're on the field or on the road. Be in the moment and free from distractions. Julian Davis, our player of the game, 1 receiving touchdown, 2 interceptions, and they were impactful. A pick 6 that went for 55 yards, and then an interception at the end to seal it. Stetson Spooner, any final thoughts from this one?
Oh, man, a big thanks for having me. What a fun night of football. I mean, I'm really glad I got to be a part of this. I'm impressed at both teams, both coaching staffs, the level of competition for the game, the level of athleticism, the big plays, the sustained drives. It was great. I mean, that was awesome football. Couple turnovers, man. Ended up just costing it. And it was kind of a slow turnover game. A fumble here or there, and then, bam, floodgates open. And unfortunately, one team's got to lose and one's got to win. But they both work hard to be here, so somebody's got to win it. And congrats to the Miners for doing that.
Man, something about these regular season finales in the North Star League. 2 years in a row, we've gotten absolute barn burners, and 2 years in a row, Lakeside, unfortunately, has been on the wrong side of it. But the Knights maybe can get into the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see. But that'll do it for this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of North Idaho Game Night. Presented by Project Filter, Your Health Idaho, Valleywide Cooperative, the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, and P1FCU. Big thanks to Corey Miller, athletic director here at Wallace High School, and also the coaches, Jared Young for Wallace, Jerry Louie McGee from Lakeside, both great guys to work with, certainly. And big thanks to everybody here in Wallace for making us feel like you. I mean, you're a local over here in the Silver Valley. I'm not. I'm from the big city.
Hey, come over here anytime. Well, the Silver Valley's a good place. Nice folks.
Yep, for sure. I had a great time. So, one last time, Wallace wins 54-46. The final, led by our IdahoSports.com player of the game, Julian Davis. Stay tuned to IdahoSports.com this weekend. As soon as the brackets and matchups get announced, we'll have them for you. And then stay tuned to our broadcast schedule next week to find out where we're going to be broadcasting. A lot of good games in the opening round of the postseason on tap next week for sure. But until then, for Stetson Spooner, I'm Brandon Baney. Good night, everybody.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This